Join us for a fun episode where we cover everything from life as a tournament director to giving back to the sport in regard to kids tournaments to Navy ships causing millions of damage by being reckless. Welcome to Bass Fishing Dive Bar, Episode 3. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Hinkle, and we've got Kurt Demerath. And today we are here with Kyle Carpenter. Kyle brings 25 years of tournament experience with us. He's got 18 years of running tournaments with the Wisconsin Bass Federation. He's run tournaments in the bass clubs, the Wisco Bass Open teams, head-to-head fishing, both on the bass and walleye side. And he was production manager involved with NPFLs, with Fix Productions. And today we're going to talk about how tournaments in the last 20 years have changed from a tournament director's perspective. So, Kurt, you want to introduce Kyle and how you know him?
Well, we've known each other for that whole time.
Yeah, it's pretty much that
whole time. Yep. Since before Dirty Jigs or the beginning of Dirty Jigs.
Yeah, the beginning of it, probably a year or two into it.
Yeah. So
I don't know him as Kurt. I know him as Dirty.
Yeah. No one.
Yeah. Nobody around here knows him as Kurt. You say Kurt Demerath, you're like,
ooh, yeah.
He's Dirty Kurt in my phone.
Yeah, everybody's. Always will be, too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think, though, when in talking before we started, I don't know if I've ever fished a tournament that you ran.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did. Menominee River.
Oh, yeah.
With
Caleb.
You and Caleb.
Yep.
Didn't you fish one with Scott, too?
I never fished a tournament with Scott up there.
He won one of ours.
Yeah, I think he fished that with Big Nick.
I don't remember who he was with, but yeah.
Nick the Hawaiian, not his cousin.
I think you're right. Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
That's probably the only one then is that Upper Menominee.
Yeah, because I never fished any of the Bay tournaments with Scott.
Well, of course not.
No.
Dirty scared of the Bay. Green Bay.
Too big.
Even though you did well there when you did fish the Open.
Yeah, always catch a check.
Yeah. Not me.
Get lucky.
Yeah.
I had a good boat captain every time.
Yeah. Just ask him.
He said it, I didn't.
Thanks for having me on here, though, guys.
Yeah, well,
of course. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Not everybody has, I mean, you talk about this a lot, like the perspective of the industry. Everybody's a participant in the industry, right? First. But not everybody sees all the back room stuff that goes into whether it's the businesses in the industry or the tournaments or, just trying to have a tournament someplace, especially up here. Like,
it's getting harder and harder too.
Yeah. There's a lot of places they do not want you around.
There's more that don't want us than there are that want us now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's nationwide from what I see running the walleye side stuff.
Yeah. Especially when you start, there's been a lot of drama in the last year about boat accidents and that type of stuff and talk about speed limits and this and that. And, there's getting to be, I think that sentiment's going to get further along as time goes on.
It should.
Safety's
always got to be first, and we're all competitors, so we all lose our minds when we, get our boat number called. But there's somebody in the background that's got to pay that piper.
Yeah, I mean,
it's very, very nerve-wracking at times.
I've been on the water once where I was like, nope, this wasn't worth it.
Yeah,
they should have never let us go. And then you get a whole different when everybody's complaining that we need to go, and then halfway through the day you're going, this is a bad idea. Yeah. This was bad, especially on Big Water Bay, Green Bay.
That was September at Meade when I was out there for the Open. They canceled day one, and everyone's like, dude, we got 20 footers. There's no reason we shouldn't be going out there. And then you go out to where you can actually see the lake, and you're like, yeah, it's probably a good idea.
That's like Leech Lake for the Opens this year.
Yeah, one person gets hurt. Somebody gets killed. Somebody, I don't even like thinking about it, to be honest. I would much rather get screamed at, and it's happened. There was a local tournament, a Wisco championship. Our championship for the season was a 2-day tournament. We canceled both days.
Yeah,
we split the money equally.
Yeah.
There's just, I'm not sending somebody
How long ago
out
was that?
3 years ago.
Okay, so I think one of the first big ones that really kind of kicked this thing into gear of canceling days was the U.S. Open at Lake Mead, the Bass Pro Shops U.S. Open at Lake Mead. They had like a 200 boat tournament. It was a shotgun start, and I think they sunk like 3 boats.
Yeah, no, not worth it.
No.
So everyone kind of followed suit after that. We're like, we're not taking any chances.
I mean, thunder, lightning, storms, I've postponed because of fog, obviously, storms. The first year of the Adrian's Memorial in Door County, day one, we sent a text out. A storm came through. We delayed the takeoff. And then we knew there was another storm coming about 10, 11 o'clock. We did not know it was going to turn into what it did. So we, in our system, we sent an all-out email or a text to all the anglers, and we had guys come back, park their boats, and sit under the tent with us during the storm. And, we postponed for all kinds of reasons. That 2-day championship, I mean, I can't believe we didn't get death threats because there was guys on them, like 30-pound bags.
Right.
And they were fishing for 10 grand individually, right? So, they got on them. I felt for them, but I'm not putting everything that we've built, my life, everything on the line to save you from yourself.
Well, you look at before for the Sturgeon Bay Open, before they put in the
blow day,
which
they don't ever use.
Right. But, there was, me and you both know a person that sunk his boat up there.
Yep.
I mean,
I know multiple.
Yeah. I'm sure you know multiple. I know, Lonnie.
Yep. That's an awesome story too.
How many that one year, how many people trailered out of Sand Bay? You got, guys.
During the NABC, which used to be the Cabela's team circuit, was out of Sturgeon Bay. We launched out of downtown Sturgeon Bay, and we all went to Little Sturgeon. And I have never been in water that rough, ever. We rounded the corner heading towards Little Sturgeon. I was with Gary Atkins, and I said, "This is stupid. We ain't gonna be able to fish when we get there."
Right.
We get there, everything's blowing out. There's literally 8-footers rolling down the secret cedars, and we tried to hold an anchor, couldn't hold an anchor, couldn't do anything. So we decided to go back to the canal. About halfway back, I'm literally sitting in the passenger seat of a dual console with my head down. It was like Deadliest Catch, just water pouring over my head. And we're going, and I just feel the motor stumbling, and Gary's no hood on, no gloves on, just eating all these waves driving. He's like, "You feel that?" I'm like, "Nope, everything's good. Keep going." Well, we lost a cylinder going across Larson's Reef, where we stop, we're dead. That boat's going to flip over in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
If you stop, you ain't stopping it from flipping over. And we got into Sawyer Harbor, and he's frozen. It's like, it was probably 45 degrees out, and he's just freezing. Luckily, I carry extra clothes usually, and he's just freezing. It was terrible.
That last year I fished the Sturgeon Bay Open. That was the last year they didn't have the blow day. Remember how bad that was?
Yep.
Reported 8-footers at takeoff.
Yeah, we've driven through some dumb stuff.
We went all the way down to Little Sturgeon. Our practice was horrible. We didn't know what we were doing. We just went fishing. We're just like, wind's blowing into Little Sturgeon. They're going to be in there somewhere.
The thing with running tournaments is you have to think about everybody. I'm a competitor. I want to go.
Yep.
So my mindset that day that we canceled our championship, day one, no brainer, no question. We're canceling. This is dumb. Small craft advisory, we cancel. Day two, we're driving to the launch. I'm talking to my business partner, Brent, and I'm like, "Well, we're going. It's not bad. It's decent." About halfway to Little Sturgeon from my house, which is 25 miles, I got a pit in the bottom of my stomach I couldn't get rid of.
Yeah.
And I pulled into the parking lot, and I could just hear the waves. Constant up against the shoreline. And it was dark out. And I went and got a couple guys together that I know are bay heads that are going to understand.
Yeah.
Like, let's go for a boat ride. And we took a 620 Ranger out in the middle of Little Sturgeon. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
These guys are all fishing alone. Some guys are fishing out of tin boats. There's guys with older equipment. You just.
Yeah, old boats with transom. You don't know how good it is. The flotation is collapsed.
I got a guy in a 17-foot crestliner that's telling me he's running to Egg Harbor. Like,
no, you're
there's
not.
no way. Everybody's getting the same money. We're done. We're moving on.
Yeah.
It sucked, but you have to make that decision and protect anglers from themselves, because
that year we had those 8-footers. I was like, I don't want to go. Like, we're at the hotel. I'm like, I don't want to go. I'll give you your entry fee back, dude.
Yeah.
I tell my partner I will pay his part of the entry fee, hotel, whatever. I don't want to go. The only thing got me to go is I trusted his driving because he could drive.
Yeah, that's a big thing in big water.
He-
Stuff can happen anywhere, man. Like you know it out in California. Some of them lakes get just as bad. You know, one of the worst lakes in the country.
I was just going to make the comment. I was going to ask the question. We don't get 8-footers. Like a bad day at Mead, you're going to get 6-footers.
Yeah,
and they won't let you out in that. They're close.
Yeah, they're close together.
But I'd rather run 6-footers than 3.5-footers there because it's so washy. It's like a washing machine. They're coming from all directions because you got different basins. You know, you got different arms coming into the basin at different directions. It's not, you don't get troughs that you can run unless they get up into that 5-foot range where you could actually run a trough.
Yeah.
So
I can tell you running troughs is not a thing. Anybody that tells you they're running troughs is full of shit. On Green Bay.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's I've been up there and there's troughs.
On Green Bay. I mean,
like
when it's
5 to 6 footers, you can run the troughs.
You can run them for a little bit.
It's not but you can cross them too.
Yeah, you could tack them.
You can tack
and
them,
move around, but
it's not like you're going to run them for a long while. You're going to tack.
No,
but it's not like Bago where you get out there and the waves go like this.
Yeah, like he's saying out there. I've always said I'll take 6-footers on Green Bay over 3-footers on Bago.
Yep.
Bago just
with 4-footers on Bago, you're screwed.
They'll pound the blood right into your pee, man. It's horrible. Yeah. But yeah, we got to protect you as a tournament organizer and everybody that's ever ran a tournament, it be at club level or anywhere. You have to think about it. And if you don't, you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be running it because you're just going to get yourself in a situation that you can't get out of.
Especially now, nowadays liability is such a big thing.
Well, everybody's so happy too.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
everybody's so happy.
Yeah, it's liability is a big deal.
Yeah, and we have insurance.
And whether you have insurance or not, if you're questioning whether you should go, then something bad happens.
Yeah.
I still got, if I'm in your position, I have to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Nobody else had made the decision to go. I did.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that. I was talking to somebody that runs a part of the Sturgeon Bay Open today, actually, and he's running around and doing stuff. And he's like, yeah, this is the part that nobody knows about, right? Yeah. Like the behind the scenes stuff. And I sent back, this is the thankless part with it, right? And when you cancel a tournament or postpone, everybody's mad at you.
Yeah.
And
it's a lose-lose.
It's a lose-lose. And I will take that loss every time. I'd rather our company go bankrupt than on our decision than to send somebody and go bankrupt because somebody got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the scariest one we have all over the world is fog. Fog is
absolutely.
I mean, look at the accidents that we had in 2025 in tournaments. Some are all fog based. It's fog is scary.
Everybody runs in fog when they shouldn't. It doesn't matter where you're at.
Yeah, I won't run a tournament on the Mississippi River after September.
Yeah,
I won't do it. Once September that fog starts coming in out there, I'm not going there because you could have 7 miles of river that are clear as far as you can see, and you run into a wall of fog for a quarter mile, and you
get that on the Wolf River. Even
it's horrible.
Like you get north of Fremont, it could be clear. I mean, there even on shore on the water, there's no fog. You get north of Fremont, you fish up there.
Yeah.
That river gets narrow. There's no air movement because of the trees. Leaves are still on the trees, and all of a sudden you just hit a haze.
Yeah, fog is scary to me.
We've got a lake here, Otay, that there's a parking lot right on a big point of our lake where it narrows down going into this long arm. And the float tubers will park in that parking lot, walk down, and there's a big rock pile almost right out in the middle of this entrance to the arm. And guys running the boats, I mean, you're running 20, 30 miles an hour. There's float tubes out in the middle.
Yeah.
You're running through, they're going like a bowl of Cheerios. Like, what the hell are you doing out here? It's a death wish, dude.
A bowl of Cheerios.
We don't have float tubes. We got kayakers.
We got kayakers, man. Yakety yak, don't kayak. Oh, I hate kayakers.
That's
I don't hate the kayakers. I hate the kayaks that you can't see.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous.
Yeah, I don't mind them being out there, but I don't like it because I had to change the way that I drive. I mean, it sort of woke me up though too. I was going to say this earlier, like the bowl of Cheerios comment. I mean, I could drive the river really good, and it was one tournament after the fact. I don't know what made me think of it, but I was like, if someone would have been around that corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, you say like, well, there's not a slow and awake buoy on it, so you can run her however you want. Well, you can and you can't.
You know what that is? That's age.
Immaturity.
You know, you mature in the fact that what I do affects other people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people got to start thinking that way. You
Yeah.
know, I got a story on, you know what Nipple Beach is on the river. It's where I was fishing. I was tight to the bank, and from the shore, dry land, to a big clump of trees is 30 feet.
I don't even think it's that far from water's low.
25, 30 feet.
You can't hardly turn your boat sideways
And
between that.
It's a straightaway that a hard left, like a 90-degree left. And then below that's an S corner. And I'm fishing, it's typically no wake. And the no wake buoys were in. So I hear a boat coming and I'm thinking nothing of it.
Yeah.
Fishing, whatever. All of a sudden I see that boat nose turn at me, and he ran between me and that jam.
And the buoy's like in the middle of the corner, so
Yeah.
you can't hit the buoy either.
It was,
And the sandbar comes out way far, so
I was mad. When I got back to shore, I walked right up to him and I'm like, what in the F are you doing? Like, I'm not going to protest you. I want to knock your teeth out.
right.
Like, I ended up beating him in a tournament, but what are you doing?
I think anybody that's fished on the river has had a bad experience on a slow and awake corner with somebody
Yeah.
blowing it.
I've been the guy that's made somebody mad too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But man, that's just unsafe.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just don't see people. I mean, I got yelled at once because I'm staring at my side imaging and I dang near run to Orta. Like, dang near run him
Oh,
over.
you should have ran into him hard.
Dang near run Orta right over. I'm getting a,
And then back up and do it again.
you know, and it was telephone, you know, it was
Oh, yeah.
Orta called Caleb,
We
thought
all-
I was
oh, yeah.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Caleb called Marcus. Marcus calls me. What are you doing?
Everybody loves Scott.
And I had to go over. I'm like, Scott, I was looking at my graph, dude. I wasn't trying to spotlight your spot, man. Like, if you want to catch some, they're over here. Go over there.
Yeah, it's been.
Then it was all good, but
There's so many scenarios like that you hear about. Even like I tell all my buddies that fish tournaments I run, don't put me in a situation where I got to DQ you.
yeah.
And don't tell me about any dumb shit you do during the tournament until payout's done and we're over here.
Yeah, once weigh-in's closed.
Once we're in a bar
protesting's over.
drinking about it, fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
man, don't put me in that situation to have to DQ you, because I'm going to. Ask Travis Manson. Yeah,
You'll
it is what it is.
You'll disqualify your best friend.
If he does something dumb, that will happen. And I did. I
Yeah.
would have considered Travis my best friend when I did it. You know, one of them.
Yeah.
Not anymore. He hates me.
That's one thing I've always respected, even at times when me and you weren't seeing eye to eye and weren't really cordial to each other. It's one thing I always said is that when he ran a tournament, he was going to call spade a spade. Doesn't matter who you are. There is no favoritism. He isn't afraid to be the dick.
Yeah. And
Right?
I took that from, I give all the credit in the world to, I know I was going to forget his name right now just because I'm thinking about it, but
Okay.
tournament director for Bassmaster,
Oh,
John, I'll think of it here. But he was Bass Nation tournament director forever. And he was, here's the line. You're either going to be on that side or this side.
Yep.
And I'm the line. So I'm going to tell you yes or no, black or white. Scenario is we're on the Mississippi River and Iowa we're in Illinois. And so we had Iowa waters where you could not fish past 2:00 or 1:00, whatever it is. And I'm on Team Wisconsin, and this was Team whoever, right? Minnesota, I think it was. And Gary Atkins and I both saw this guy fishing on the Iowa side after whatever time it was. And we get back, we didn't know what to do, right? Do we say something? Do we not? Well, back then, the winner of each state went on the nationals. So the highest finisher of each state went on the nationals. So you weren't just fishing that one tournament. You're actually fishing against guys from your own state for a trip to nationals. And I found out that he was leading his state going into the last day. I'm like, well, that ain't right.
yeah.
This ain't right. So I walk over to the tournament director to pull up to John. I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. We both saw it. I don't know who his non-boater was, but you can ask his non-boater. So he did his due diligence and came back by us. He goes, we're not doing anything to him. He said he didn't catch any fish. His non-boater said he didn't catch any fish. Water under the bridge. And I was like, what? Like, I pushed back on him. Like, he broke a rule. He goes, that's my decision. If you don't like it, leave.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got my boat, went fishing the next day.
Yeah.
So
sometimes you learn the best lessons when you don't agree with something.
Yep. And I know where he's coming from that. Like I can appreciate why he did that now, because yeah, that guy might have broke a rule. If he didn't catch a fish, he didn't break any laws.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to be penalized for as far as a fine or potential fine.
Yeah.
His boat's sitting in Iowa water.
Yeah.
So it's what it is. I don't necessarily agree with it to this day, but that was his decision, and we both respected it and moved on. Yeah. That guy ended up getting beat the next day by somebody else from Minnesota. I believe it was Minnesota, so he didn't make it to nationals, which
maybe because he didn't fish the Iowa side that
could have been, right? Karma's always there. So there's so many.
Speaking
scenarios.
of stuff like that, I got a hot topic question. What do you think, as a tournament director, someone who's ran organizations or been a spokesman for organizations, what do you think about, and I didn't ask you this question beforehand, so you might be mad.
I like it.
What do you think about all this? We see and hear way more than we ever did about the goings on behind the scenes, about the disqualifications, that there is, because it's so easy for the general public to jump right away. Oh, he's getting protested, or oh, he did something wrong. And
John Stewart.
What?
John Stewart, tournament director for Bass. I knew it.
So a lot of times people are very easy to jump to, well, he obviously cheated if he's getting protested, right?
Right.
What do you think? I know there's one guy, I don't want to drop his name, but there's one guy out there puts a lot of content together relative to that. Some of it's, I don't know what you want to call it. Some of it is for comedic effect, but then there's some real, and some people have a hard time differentiating the difference between what is put out there for, ha-has and what's put out there in reality.
When it comes to tournament rules, right?
Yeah.
If somebody's protested, no matter what it is, and we've had a couple protests. We've had one at the Adrian's this last year, and I'll talk about another one after this one. But this one was a team came up to us and said, "These guys released a dead fish."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're bouncing around. Okay, they had a video.
Yeah,
we saw the video, and it in the video, to me, the way it all plays in my head, it made sense. Like this, and I knew the guys, and we made a decision the first decision we made was to not count that team's day one weight. Okay, off that video and off of their word. We talked to the team prior. Okay, that was our decision. And as the night went on, Brent and I are thinking like, man, we just got a video. We don't know where that fish came from. We don't know that fish didn't float over there by law, right? And I'm thinking if this comes up next week because we DQ'd somebody's day one weight, are we going to be able to prove this in court? Is where my mind went. And we couldn't.
Right.
We couldn't prove it. 100% in my head, without a benefit of the doubt, all of it, it was their fish.
Yeah.
It might not have been dead when they released it, but that fish died after it was in their possession. So we let them fish. We put their weight back in. We let them fish, and we made them go last.
Yeah. On
day two, and they should have been almost first because the field flipped for day two. And I'm good with that decision that we made because we really couldn't prove it.
Right.
We couldn't prove it out without any shadow of doubt that was their fish. Now, we put somebody on a lie detector, right? A polygraph. Yeah. Polygraphs don't amount to anything in my mind.
In the court of law.
In the court of law, they don't. Nobody cares about it. I got buddies that are cops that are and lawyers that are like, yeah, don't even bother.
Yeah.
All it is it's a scare tactic of we're going to put you on a polygraph. Well, somebody trained could pass a polygraph.
Yeah.
No matter what, So that scenario, I believe we did the right thing.
Yeah.
Do I believe that was their fish? Yes.
Yeah.
But I can't prove it.
I guess my question more is, do you think we need to be shining a light on all these bad decisions per se? Some of them are innocent, some of them are not.
By the organization or the anglers?
By any of it. Does anybody need to be going out there running around? I mean, I get anglers trying to defend, their place, defend their reputation.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like this in the last 2 years, there's been getting to be a lot of, used to be hearsay. Used to be, well, I sort of heard. I heard this might have happened. And now it's like, no, you're hearing a lot of stuff coming out that's really detailed.
The no info rules, stuff like that.
Yeah, just whether that's somebody from the angler's perspective putting the stuff out there, or it's an FLW or Bass or whatever tournament organization's, press release. Is it good or bad to constantly be shining this light on that?
I think it's
because I feel like the spotlight's getting shined on it more than ever.
I think it's both. I think it could be taken in both light, either positive or negative.
Yeah.
I mean, you talked about Slick, right?
Yeah, that's who I'm referencing.
I mean, no, everybody knows who you're talking about. Slick Johnson, what he does, I think it's good, because if he's hearing all these things like they said, right? Who the hell is they?
Yeah.
Well, I'm they.
Yeah.
And this is who's telling me. He's usually pretty transparent on where he hears things from.
Yeah.
And I think it's good because if there's somebody known out there watching, it may stop somebody from doing something stupid.
Yeah.
Right. So if I think you're cheating, I call Slick Johnson and be like, hey man, watch this dude. He's been doing shady stuff. He shows up late, comes in early, opens the scales for himself. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that out loud. Stuff like that. Yes, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Organization standpoint, they hate it.
Yeah.
Bassmaster absolutely they hate it because I'm not going to talk crap about Bass because I respect everything they have done and what they do. But if there's bad decisions being made, if somebody don't call you out on your shit, you don't know you have dirty shit.
Right.
If you don't know, if you're just getting away with it and doing it, you think it's okay. You get complacent, like we ain't doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Now somebody's out there bringing things to light that you may have unintentionally swept under the rug.
Right.
Well, prime example, Ty Au just recently, just a few months ago.
Yeah.
Got DQ'd for a polygraph test. He did nothing wrong. And it was all because of a question that was asked during the polygraph that was worded incorrectly.
Yeah.
And that's a shame
way
on
too
them.
detailed.
Yep.
Well, so Ty's another guy I'd like to have to come on talk about this, specific topic, but the organizations need to be held accountable in that regard as to who they're bringing on as polygraphers and what questions they're asking.
Well, there's got to be a different way than a polygraph, because it's been proven over time and time again that polygraph is not going to stand up. It's what it is. I don't know. I mean, the fear of God of Slick Johnson jumping you. Yeah. I mean, that might be enough.
That's where I find myself sometimes watching some of that stuff, and it's like, you know what? I feel like both parties got a bigger black eye out of this than they needed, and no one really won or lost. Well, nobody won. Everybody just lost. Well, no, just with any of it.
Any of it?
Because I think stuff is out there too fast. I think when you start hearing like, well, we're going to have polygraph them another time, or we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We don't even need to be talking about it yet.
I don't want to kick that under there or shut everything off.
Oh, yeah. Don't put the little button down there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying.
There's too much jump on it right away until all the facts are made clear. There's two stories, no facts yet.
Correct. Yep.
And I just feel like everybody gets a black eye. Whether it's Bassmaster, FLW, or whoever.
The one thing I'll say about Slick is I've yet to find a scenario that he brought up that's a lie.
No, for sure not.
You know what I mean? So
no, I don't.
He's kind of like the anglers, all the other anglers.
He's almost like the union rep of the fishing anglers.
Yeah, we both went to the same place, right?
Union rep.
He's kind of like the rep for all of us, right? For all the other anglers that did everything correct, that didn't break a law. There's so much controversy with a polygraph. I mean, Jacob Wheeler, right? Love him, hate him. What if he did or didn't pay off guys, or pay off the polygraph, or pay a fine, whatever? He's playing within that rule set.
Yeah.
If he finds a gray area, everybody wants to find that gray area.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to push the envelope.
There's
right?
a lot of that. That's to another subject about the tournament thing that I wanted to get on is you writing rules to eliminate as much gray area.
And I will never get them all.
No.
Ever.
No.
If you're looking at the rules and you're like, I can win $100,000, but if I solicit information and get caught doing, I got to pay a $20,000 fine.
I have a scenario that I'll give you for a gray area.
That's a gray area that most people are probably, if they think they can win, they're gonna spend the $20,000, no different than they put gas in their boat, right?
Yep. So during the head-to-head Pro Walleye series, Bob Blosser, awesome guy. Yeah. Robert Blosser is one of the best guys you ever meet in your life. He loves the gray area.
Lives there.
He would ask questions to get me to kind of push me into like, okay, I see what you're doing here.
Yeah.
And then there's things he waited until tournament day.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what event it was, and this was a 4-hour or 2-day play-in. Every fish gets entered into the app.
Yeah.
Right. So all the anglers can see who has what.
Mm-hmm.
So they could see, and their officials told them what they had throughout the day. So Bob Blosser's fishing through his day, and the officials writing down all the weights.
Yeah.
Bob's not putting them in his app because it wasn't in the rules.
That he had to.
I didn't have in the rules that he had to put the weight in the app right away. So Bob Blosser's got 2 fish for 4 pounds, whatever it is, with 10 minutes left in the match.
Yeah.
Nobody's thinking about Bob Blosser. They drive by him on the lake like, oh, he sucks. He's not doing any good.
And he skunked.
2 minutes for the end of the day,
Boom,
107
boom,
pounds.
boom.
Like, you son of a bitch. Like, you got me.
You got him. Got him.
But I loved it. I loved it. He played in that.
You didn't do anything wrong.
I think people like it more just that they got you than anything.
And then he knew we changed that rule after that event, but he knew that, okay, I'm going to get away with this as long as I can.
Yeah.
So I literally, Bob Blosser rule number 72A. The scenarios
that's
that come
great.
up in the gray area is just unbelievable.
I just don't like that so much this stuff comes out with, and not everybody goes and watches the full videos that Skip's putting out.
Yeah.
I mean, and I get calls about stuff, and I'm less like, oh, you got to go watch all of his stuff, or you got to go watch the whole video, not the little.
Some of it he's doing for clicks for sure.
Yeah.
He's getting paid to do it. So
it's like there's so many times there's context that's lost
for sure
because people aren't doing their due diligence, just like every other form of, news media anymore. Yeah. There's always context meeting. I like what he does.
I like what he does. I think it's for the anglers, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the organization, me personally, I won't get offended by any of it. Good. You talk about my company. Go ahead. Say all you want.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm doing everything I can, be it finding gray area stuff as we go, but I'm doing everything I can to make sure you don't do it or get away with it.
Right.
So if he brings something to my attention that I heard they said this, right? Well, now I'm going to look into it.
Yeah.
And right or wrong, we have an angler that fishes Wisco.
Yeah.
That, we talked about it before we went on air here, is he has been just crucified by his peers, saying he's cheating. Well, had I not heard that from anybody, I would never go down the path, right?
Yeah.
And he's not. He's just kicking everybody's butt day in and day out. It's just what it
that's
is.
something that I don't think you talk to a lot of people, but because I didn't have a dog in the fight, right? Like you called me and asked my opinion a handful of times on it, and it's like no matter what the outcome, like there's no win on this side of things because you're either looking at a bunch of people going, what a bunch of sore losers.
Yep.
Or you're looking at somebody's like, man, this guy bamboozled us for years.
Yep.
And I don't like either outcome.
Mm-hmm.
No, me neither. And if it comes out in 10 years from now that I was wrong, I will eat crow. I will bury that. I'll bury him. And he knows that.
Yeah.
The angler knows that I will pursue to the fullest extent of the law and get every penny back that you won.
Yeah. And I can only imagine he's been like, wow, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like
he's not scared.
He's
like,
a
not worried
straightforward
about
guy.
it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And we've done our due diligence,
Yeah.
As an organization. We've put cameras in his boat, put people with him, and, had people follow him that he didn't know was following him. And,
Unfortunately, I don't know how it is out there by you, Adam, but I can say, because I know you fished with some of these people, I've fished with some of these people over the years. It always seems to happen. Whoever becomes dominant, Chad and Caleb.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I remember the
Jaeger
with the.
Well, no, just Jaeger got accused of it. Chad and Caleb got accused of it.
What was it? Pantyhose, putting salmon in pantyhose on shot.
In fish cribs. Yeah. Yep. I know who claimed that.
The fish cribs thing was happening. I'm not saying any of them guys did it.
Right.
But the Christmas trees and the
Yeah.
toilet bowls and the stuff that got planted,
guys have gotten caught putting Christmas
I
trees
know
out
it's
there
happened,
by the DNR.
you can't prove it.
Right. And you can't, if a guy does it during the winter and gets busted for doing it, how can you?
You know, in Wisconsin, for a long time, we were all cheaters
Oh, yeah.
because we all called.
Every one of us called.
We all called.
As long as we caught enough, we called.
What was it, 2009, 8 or 9, it changed where
What do you mean? I've never caught more than 5 fish on a tournament day.
yeah, that's right. So it's tough. You know, it's you play within the rule set, you're fine. But
Yankee and Sanders got accused of it.
yeah.
Paul got accused of it.
Paul got accused of it. Man, he was mad.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember telling Paul, like, Paul, every single person that's ever been dominant for more than a year has been accused of it. That's how it is here. Everybody that becomes dominant. It's a little different with your situation because it's like body of water after body of water. It's traveling.
Yeah.
All these other ones, it's like this body of water, and that's where they fish.
Yeah. Look at Jim and Mike. Well, you guys are running the wake buoys. There's no way you're making it that far up the rivers without running buoys. Were they running them? Likely. But catch them and turn them in.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing more than
I think all of us push it to a point where you'd probably get a ticket.
Oh, you rock a buoy.
You rock a buoy, right? But
there's nothing I hate more than somebody that's going to come and say, this guy's cheating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Prove it. Bring me something. Bring me something that says he's cheating. He won too much. Yeah. Yep. We've written him a lot of checks.
There was a tournament this fall that I got 4 or 5 calls about people blowing buoys on the river.
Yeah.
And I just telling them, we're like, you live 2 miles from the boat landing. The person you want me to call is standing there.
Yep.
Drive to the boat landing and talk to the guy.
Yep.
I don't know what he's going to do about it because I wouldn't want to have been Ben.
Yep. Hey.
You got multiple people show up and tell you that your whole field that went south blew buoys.
I got, as a tournament director for the state tournament, I got a video sent to me from New London.
Yeah.
We took off in Winneconne,
Yeah.
and I got a video. Somebody sat in New London at the boat launch and just videoed everybody that ran by.
Yeah.
9 people got disqualified.
Yeah.
Day.
So speaking of videos, you know the name Mike Long.
Oh yeah.
I think we all know the name Mike Long. My dad was running team tournaments in San Diego for, I believe it was ABA at the time. And we get a phone call. I think it was late at night one night. Hey, can I come over tomorrow night? From Mike Long. I've got a video to show you. And it was from a father and son team. There was a school of fish in this bay. They call it Grassy Bay. Super shallow, real sparse grass through this whole thing. And there's schools, everybody knows, there's schools of 4 to 10 pound fish. And we're talking like 50 to 100 fish schools in this bay. He took a rental boat out to one of the islands on the side of this bay, sat up there in a ghillie suit with a video camera and videoed Tom and Kyle Heigl snagging fish. Took that videotape to our house and sat on our living room floor and was showing us Tom and Kyle snagging fish. Well, Tom and Kyle never fished another team tournament. You want to talk about proof? We all know the story about Mike Long after that, but that's a whole nother topic.
What do you learn from that video?
He's a quick learner. You guys got away with this? I would love if somebody brings me proof because I'll be honest.
Exactly.
I don't want somebody to cheat.
If you got video, like forget lie detectors, forget this, forget that. Like screenshots on phones.
You want to bury somebody? Bring me proof.
Yeah,
we'll bury them.
Like
not hesitate.
Like you look at the the Scott Martin deal. Is there screenshots from that? I don't know. I didn't look into it enough. I mean, I've got friends that are friends with Scott. I didn't. I'm like whatever. But nowadays, if they're sharing information digitally, screenshots, it's hard as a competitor to be like, oh, my phone, like it's done and gone. It happened already.
Right.
But
you brought up the Scott Martin thing. I think 100% he was guilty.
Yeah.
I think he knew going into that.
He's trying to live in a gray area, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he asked about something that was
Yeah, it's
so far away, but yet still technically was in tournament water.
Tennessee River guys do this all the time.
Yeah. What's going on Chickamauga?
That's right. What's going on? If you want to know about Gunnersville, you ask about wherever, right?
Yeah.
You ask about whatever one has grass, right?
Yeah.
And Mississippi River is the same way.
Yeah.
These guys ask with intent.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to fail a polygraph.
Yes, you're going to fail.
If you're asking for intent, you're going to fail. So
if
he knew what he was doing because he got away with it for so long.
That's it. I've had guys call me because they're coming up here.
And I don't think Scott Martin's a bad guy. I think he's done awesome things for the industry and will continue to do it.
Yeah.
But
I want to see him fish more carp tournaments.
He could fish.
Well, you see that?
He
fished some carp tournament or showed up some carp tournament on some pond by Okeechobee.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey,
that's a cool video.
It's good content.
Yeah.
Good content. Is it going to hurt possibly his daughter's chances in the industry? No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
She's doing good. She's got completely different sponsors.
Well, and she
knows what she's doing.
She has the it factor, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
She's a good-looking woman.
Yeah.
She's good looking and a woman.
Yeah.
In bass fishing. Not saying she's not going to earn her way, but
knowledgeable.
She's going to do just fine in the industry.
Yeah. Grew up around it. She knows.
Yeah.
I mean, between her dad and grandpa, I can't imagine a better learning tree to sit under as far as maintaining sponsors, what you need to do for sponsors and all that. And those relationships.
How many times have you said the jingle about Senkos?
Never, because I did not watch Roland Martin during that whole period.
Come on, that Yamamoto commercial is epic.
Oh. Well, and I don't usually consume that
things,
stuff,
Mister. Son, you don't work. Damn, they work for you.
That's the thing about me. I don't
awesome commercial.
I don't consume that type of media that often. I don't watch. Rarely do I watch bass fishing to any extent.
Yeah, I didn't for a long time, just because I wanted it to be this thing in my mind, right?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of upset that I got as involved into when Travis made the elites, Manson made the elites. I got into the industry of it. Right.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I want to follow this and
get
involved, and started, getting more involved at that level, volunteering at events, going to events, stuff like that. And man, I wish I never would have.
Yeah.
Because you get to see all the corruptness in it.
I don't even say it was corruptness. There's just so many people that are about them. They don't see past their own toes.
There's
and that's why you get yelled at.
When Manson was in the elites, he told me this story. And I believe him 100% because Keith Boucher told me the exact same story like 5 years later.
Yeah.
That there's a group of anglers that wanted to get together and protest another angler. This guy was major sponsored all over the huge name, had connections all over the country, which we know a person that he was that from around here that connected to him.
Yeah.
He would make a phone call in the off season, get to a lake under no contact, pull up. There's a boat floating out here. That boat drives to an area, gets up, fishes. This angler just watches.
Yeah.
I'm just in a cove.
Yeah.
Goes to the next area, fishes a little bit, makes 10 casts. Followed them around every lake, everywhere they went to in the country that happened. That ruined it for me right there. And
did that guy just seem to have his finger on the pulse? Is that what we used to say about that guy? He just had his finger on the pulse?
Yeah, really wide finger. We're not thinking of the same person. I'm not going to call him out, but
no.
It was the Strike King, Kevin Van Dam. That's who it was. I didn't know it at the time that's who it was.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, finger on the pulse. Yeah,
it was Kevin Van Dam. Not discrediting anything he did. I don't even know if it's 100% true, but
yeah, that was a rumor.
There's Strike King guys all over the country getting free product. Patch Pirates that you're going to give me $300 worth of free product? Hell yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, Randy, I'm coming to your lake. What do you got? Okay, let's meet this day.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
I believe it happened.
Yeah. And that's that gray area where it's like
he played in it. He knew it. He owned it.
You're soliciting information per se.
But he didn't break any rules because it was prior to the off limits.
And any of those guys during practice can show up to a lake and go, oh, I know that guy's good on Gunnersville. I'm just going to watch him all day. I'm just going to follow him around and see what he's doing. That's not against the rules.
Nope.
Because that guy's just out fishing. It's sort of back to like I'd have guys call, and a lot of them I'd be like, dude, I'm just not comfortable answering because I sort of know what you're probably asking, and I want you to pass polygraph.
Yeah.
So I'm not answering.
Yeah. Let's just not talk about this.
Like guys call up, well, what's the Winnebago system? Because there's certain questions I could ask. Like, we're not on Poigan, so what's that fishing like? Well, I'm thinking, I could tell you, and you're going to be really disappointed if you go out there thinking Bago's going to fish like Poigan.
Just drive over it.
But, there's definitely that. And all of them do it. Like you said, everybody tries to live in that gray area because everybody's trying to. We sort of talked about this, I think, in the last podcast. Everybody's trying to get that little bit of edge.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dirty Jigs started because it was right at the sort of, you could get a lot of different information on the internet. Stuff could spread faster than ever. And the guys that were younger that could get on forums and this type of stuff would go out there, find information about a jig, a crankbait, colors, techniques through a forum that all the old school guys at your local tournaments didn't know anything about.
Right.
So you were just looking for a competitive advantage.
Lake Link.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lake Link. Liars Link.
Yeah. You guys got Lake Link? Did you even know what that is?
No clue.
Be happy you don't. There was a forum that must just be a Midwest.
Well, it started in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
it started in
Wisconsin, Minnesota, where
I think Michigan's got it now.
let's just say Mississippi River Pool 8, right? There'll be a forum about how everything's going.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody found something out, they put it on Lake Link and it just destroyed it.
Yeah.
Like there were so many people on it. And
yeah, people go on Lake Link and post pictures of their hero bags, right? From some tiny little lake up north.
See, we got a similar. Well, we used to have a similar thing. It was sdfish.com.
Yeah.
And it was, if you know how small San Diego is, we got 8 or 9 lakes here. And every single day, there's a report from every single lake, basically, because everyone's showing off what they've caught and everything gets blown up. So basically the same thing.
There was actually a movement. I don't know how far it ever went, but I know it was a discussion and there was people organized around this that they were going to, it was more for the panfish and stuff, but they were going to try to get the state regulations changed because of Lake Link.
Sure. Because decimated populations.
Yeah.
They killed lakes. There's and the Bay of Green Bay is the same thing with the perch population.
Oh, it's gone. It's I think it's too far gone. It's going to be wrecked after this year.
Yeah. The schools are massive. I think it's going to last a little longer, and I'm only seeing in one small place where I've been ice fishing, and it's the same in 30 different places.
Well, Little Lake Butamore got wrecked.
Little Lake's destroyed.
Yeah, it got destroyed.
Lake Link, kind of form like that.
I'm saying the Bay will not be big portions of Bay will not be as good as it was prior to this ice fishing season.
Yeah, it can't be because there's thousands of fish getting killed every day. I'm guilty.
Part of the
I haven't ice fished in 20 years, but this year it's been fun chasing them little peacocks around.
Part of the reason why down the road want to have a what's the true full impact, not from tournament standpoint, not because people don't want to fish with it or do want to fish with it. What's the true impact on all our fisheries when it comes to the crappies, the perch, the bluegill, especially in the north where our fish don't have shad? It's if the states aren't proactive, and now I'd say at this point it's reactive about dropping these panfish limits, especially during the winter when the fish are so congregated.
Yeah, it's got.
They're not spread out. Like
there's no reason somebody has to go out and catch 25 panfish.
Guides going out catching 15 perch on the bay with 7 clients.
Yeah, 5 is plenty.
Day after day after day.
Yeah,
sitting on the same school. We see it with walleyes. 7 guide boats sitting on one school of walleyes. 3 clients in the boat.
I got a lot of friends that are guides, and don't get me started on guides affecting fisheries.
Yeah, I just don't get why they're not more.
Tournaments get blamed for everything, and
why they're not more proactive about trying to educate their clients to not keep fish because they're taking away their future livelihood.
There are some that are really good with it.
Yep.
That won't let their clients keep more than 2 or 3. But if the client asks and they have a license and they
Yeah.
catch it, you can't stop them.
Yeah.
So I was sitting here asking the question in my head. You guys are talking about lakes getting decimated by numbers of catches being so high.
Yeah.
My entire life, the limits have been the same from when I started fishing at 5 years old all the way up now to 40. The limits have always been the same. I have not seen a decline in the numbers of fish. The only variation I see is maybe a shad population for a couple of years is dead and then it comes back and all of a sudden this fishery comes to life. But I have not seen a decline in the numbers or the size of the fish that we've had. The only decline in the size of fish that we've had is because of the lack of trout plants.
Yeah.
But I don't think it has anything to do with the limit. So maybe it's the limit numbers have been correct this whole 35 years I've been fishing.
So what is your limit for? I mean, you have crappies and you have bluegills of various species.
15, I believe it's 15 for bluegill, 15 for crappie, 5 for bass.
Yeah.
I don't know catfish, but
so in Wisconsin, for the most part, bluegills, all sunfish,
All panfish
all panfish,
are 25.
it's a total of 25.
25.
Like the bay, the perch is 15.
15, yep.
So you can catch 15 perch and then 10 bluegills.
Yes.
You can't have 25 perch.
You can't have 25 perch.
And it's starting to limit that. Like Shawano, 10 now for bluegills. They dropped it to 10 or
Shawano's
15.
different. Walleye's a slot there. Like the Bay of Green Bay, to give you an example, maybe you have this or you don't, but commercial fishing is what really, really affected the perch population in the Bay. In the 80s,
we do not commercial fishing in freshwater whatsoever.
That's why, right there.
That's slaughter.
In the Great Lakes,
why.
even Winnebago, the commercial fishing, they were able to keep, I don't know the number. I'm just going to use arbitrary number of 5,000 pounds a day, right? Well, they could do that every day.
Yeah.
Process. We're seeing it in the whitefish population right now on the Bay. The whitefish population is crashing and burning hard
because they're commercial fishing
gone.
Yeah,
because they've been overfished.
Got it.
Yeah.
They've been so the perch. What I started with, the perch population in the 80s was way better than we've ever seen it in our lifetimes. That
I don't think the size was there, but the numbers was
we'll
definitely
never
there.
see it again.
Yeah.
If they don't change, so what they did is they cut down the commercial fishing poundage, what people could keep as a commercialized. That's why they switched to a different species.
Yeah.
And the perch population came back.
And didn't they have a 5 fish limit on perch for a long time?
For a long time on the Bay, it was 5, and then
5.
it came back to 15 because they saw the change.
Yeah.
And I saw it, like shallow and fish and Door County side.
Yeah.
You go in the back of some of these bays and there'll be millions perch. And just,
Adam's fished there with me, so
it's amazing the amount of perch.
But
and then the perch population's climbing; it's on the way back up, and now all the commercial went over to whitefish, and you're seeing the exact same effect on whitefish, where the guides, again, not saying they're doing anything wrong, not saying that they're at fault for anything.
they're within the rules.
They're within the rules that they're given, but the population of whitefish on the common areas is down because of overharvest.
Yeah.
So the rules have to change.
The rules have to change or it's going to go away. And there's a big rule change in Door County right now, or actually the whole Bay of Green Bay with bass, where we were the only Great Lakes that wasn't regulated to spawn for bass. Well, that's changing April 1st. That sucks for me as a tournament organizer because a tournament that I've had established, I got to change. I got to go to catch, weigh, release. Sturgeon Bay Open has to do the same thing. You cannot possess a bass until July 1st. So that means we can't have any keep tournaments, right? Catch, hold, release tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
But the guides can still go out and catch fish and release them all day long.
Yeah.
Well,
the question becomes: Are we really affecting anything with that?
it's not going to
rule
affect
change?
a thing. It's going to affect zero. The Wisconsin DNR has told me, the biologist in Door County has told me that there's less than 5% harvest of smallmouth bass in the indoor county.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 5%. That means less than 5% of people that fish it are keeping it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Very like 0.0001%.
Because they're not going to stop. I mean, the biggest thing I think they should be concerned about, in my opinion, is fish off of beds. Me and you have bed fish together.
Yeah.
I know that's something you really enjoy.
I love it.
I like going to it once in a while, but for the most part, I'd rather catch them not sight fishing.
Sure.
I don't care how I'm sight fishing, whether bet or not. I don't care.
Without the tournaments, you're eliminating 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days. That's it.
And the amount of time it takes you to fight a 4 or 5 pound male guarding a bed off a bed, if there's gobies around, they're decimating the eggs no matter what.
And if that fish is stressed
right away or not,
if that fish is stressed from just the spawn,
the
gobies swim right next to him and eat him anyway.
Yeah.
And there has to be some regulation, right? Natural regulation of the spawn. Otherwise, the whole system would get overtaken by bass.
Yeah.
Because the amount of bass that spawn in 15 to 30 feet of water that never see a bait is immense.
Yeah.
It's immense.
I think if anything,
now we're talking Door County. Door County's clear where you can see. You go to the other side, you can't see.
Right.
So them fish have never been affected by a spawn, and they're still
there's
on
not
the
really
uphill
much
climb.
for tournaments over on the West Shore.
So this new law regulation, right? Some regulation's good, some is bad. I do like the fact that we are regulating and protecting the spawn.
I like seeing them making attempt at better management of bass.
If this is
the first time in state's history that they're really being.
If this is truly to protect the fish and protect the spawn, then shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it off. Shut it down until July 1st.
Yeah.
I'm for that.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
Yeah. Yeah, because we see that at Washington Island, right?
Yeah, Washington Island, Mink River.
Yeah.
They shut that down. They opened up Washington Island and Mink River for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
When the catch and release came into Wisconsin, I don't know what year it was, even 2015, 2014, where you could catch and release year round. Oh man, it was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
because we used to have a full-fledged closed season that started March 31st.
Yeah, March 31st to July 1st.
The whole rest of the state, other than the Mississippi River and Winnebago system, was the first full weekend in May.
Yep.
So you couldn't even target them at all.
Washington Island was July 1st.
Yeah.
You couldn't target bass at all for them.
Yeah. So when we talk about a closed season, it's literally closed, no targeting.
Yeah. So they opened that up, and then it ended up getting shut back down, and now they're preserves, spawning habitat. So if that's truly what it is to protect the fishery and protect the spawn, then shut it down.
I think I don't even think they'd have to close it at July 1st. I think they could do catch and release up until like our traditional, what we'd call opening weekend, the first full weekend of May, or maybe even the second full weekend of May, Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, I'd say Mother's Day weekend.
Mother's Day weekend.
The spawn really gets going.
To June 1st. That would protect a vast majority of spawning fish.
You'd have to go into July. There's fish on beds in the northern Door County into July.
Yeah.
4th of July this year, I was cracking them on beds.
Yeah. But I don't think the amount that there is in that window I mentioned.
Right.
I think that's where your primary is.
Yeah. Gotta love regulations.
But I think with what we see, what Adam was sort of getting at, so our panfish populations, where that dictates a lot of our fish's food, like our bass, our walleyes. They're eating perch, they're eating bluegills, they're eating crappies, whatever. What I don't think you have out there that we have here, so Adam's been to Rowley's Bay, right? Like you put us on that tube spot in Rowley, so he knows how big Rowley's Bay is. So you can easily see all of Rowley's Bay. You're up there perch fishing. In that type of space, how many people did you see Saturday morning when you were perch fishing?
Oh, thousands.
1,000 people.
Really?
Even 1,000
2 to
people.
3,000.
And they're all catching their 15 perch.
Yeah, I got a video.
And they will catch their perch however it takes to catch most of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Not everybody will get a limit, but
most people will take
catching them.
Most people will take whatever they have to take to be able to say they caught a limit.
Yeah.
That puts it a lot more in perspective then, for sure.
Yeah, it's insane.
And that goes on for...
That is insane.
Would you say 60 miles of the Bay Shore on the West Shore?
On the West Shore. So I haven't ice
like you can just keep walking and you're just going to never not be able to see 1,000 people. It is a community out there.
Yeah, I haven't ice fished in 20 years, probably plus. And I got back into it this year just because a buddy's got a permanent shack. Said, hey, do you want to come out? Sure. Man, it's got me hooked. And I caught a 15.25-inch perch day after Christmas. And I've been out there 6 times since then. It's just been a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And
they're fun to catch.
They're a blast. We're using tip downs or jigging, whatever. When the school comes in, it's chaotic. It's addicting and it's fun.
Yeah. It's a fire drill.
From here on out the rest of the year, I'm releasing everyone I catch. Like I'm doing it for the sport because I don't need any more fish. Like
Yeah.
we don't eat enough fish, my wife and I, to get rid of the first ones I put in the freezer to not get over my possession limit. So
And it's so easy to go get a good fish fry on a Friday night
oh yeah, and
in Wisconsin.
Yeah, they got.
Yeah.
I'm not making old fashions on the ice, so I got to get an old fashioned when I'm getting a fish fry.
Yeah.
But even during the summer, if I run out of perch, I can go out and catch a limit of perch, literally in probably half hour.
Yeah. And here we have daily bag limits and possession limits, and your possession limit is double your daily bag.
2 times your daily. So,
but that is that. How do they enforce that?
It's tough because perch on the bay are 15, so you can have 30 in your possession. But I could catch perch out of Matonga and catch 25.
Yeah.
So they don't know where it came from, right?
Yeah, unless
How many
they
perch
DNA
do you
test
have?
them.
Got it.
And they ain't going to DNA test it. But like I had a scenario where a buddy and I were talking about today. Well, how are they ever going to know? Well, if they come to my house and I'm over possession, I got a ticket on Sunday for not having my ATV registered. Well, when I was back there Friday, I saw the same warden. When I was there Saturday, I saw the same warden. When I was there Sunday, I saw the same warden. So now I'm on his radar, right? Now he knows who I am. He knew I was there 4 times. And if I got a limit each time, I'm over my possession. So he could come knock on my door and be like, hey, I want to check your possession limit. And if I was over, I'd be screwed. I'd get a ticket and lose my license, whatever else. So it's tough. I'm releasing the rest of the year. I'm going to catch for fun. And my buddy would probably yell at me every time I catch one, but that's what I'm going to do.
Well, that's how I am. It's like I don't want to keep the biggest. I don't care if I'm bluegill fishing, crappie fishing. I've been this way for a long time because I seen on the river, and you learn as you get older that it was more of a seasonal relative to water and this and that. But you're like, why did the crappie population go to crap? And then it come back all of a sudden. Well, it's just because some years they come up out of the lake, some years they don't. But I don't know. I just started. It made sense to me years ago, especially after reading all the fisherman stuff that the Linders did. I'm going to keep a crappie over, basically slot limiting myself or slot sizing myself. I'm going to keep a crappie if it's 8 inches, but I ain't going to keep it if it's over 12 inches, right?
Yeah,
Or
there's a
over
lot of
11
guys that
inches.
do that.
And
There's a lot of guides on the bay that are perch fishing right now that do that.
And if we want to have really, truly great quality fisheries for these different species where we can maintain doing what's going on right now, I think that's what has to be implemented, not just by the anglers, but also from the DNR standpoint.
Yeah, for sure.
I know, yet it takes more boots on the ground if they make it a law. So I just try to educate people as much as possible. If you want it to be good for tomorrow, do your best to, put and take as much as you can.
Yeah.
And not just.
It's crazy the amount of people that, like I talked about that Door County thing with the bass, where it's starting this April 1st, you can't possess a bass on Green Bay as a whole, or 5 miles off of the Door County shoreline on the Lake Michigan side. The amount of people that are just hearing about this right now blows my mind.
What about the perch?
No, about the bass, about this rule change.
Oh,
it's mind blowing the amount of people that tournament fish that have no idea this is going on. We've been, I'll say, fighting this very, not really nose to the ground, fighting it hard because I kind of wanted it to pass, but I didn't because of the business side of things. But I love the fishery, so I want it to be the best it can be. So we've been fighting, trying to just get, grandfathered for 4 tournament days, right? Our tournament and then the Sturgeon Bay Open.
Yeah.
And the amount of guys now that Sturgeon Bay Open announced that they're going to a catch rate release are losing their minds.
Yeah.
Like, where the hell were you?
Yeah. What rock did you live under?
If you cared that much about Door County bass, then why weren't you here? Because I had it all over my Facebook, and I'm friends with all these guys. You're living under a rock if you didn't know this was going on.
Yeah.
And now the fight's over. The fight's over.
The fight's over. And it's not the first time they've tried to do something up there.
Yeah.
In regards to the tournaments. I mean,
they started at a different level. They started at the local level of not allowing tournaments out of certain boat landings, and that failed. And then they went to this level. So
yeah. It's been a I don't know, stressful thing over the last 10, 15 years up there. But I hate to say it. I think you mentioned this before, how we all have cheated in Wisconsin to some extent, right? And the last episode, I know there was a little snippet that got put up about all fishermen are liars.
Because we are.
The game wardens, I mean, they tried getting me for culling in a tournament.
I got it.
Yeah, they tried getting me, and
I
they
got
couldn't
it.
prove it. They couldn't prove it. All they could prove is that that another angler saw me throw a fish back. And that other angler, I watched cull multiple times. He was right next to me half the day. Like, really? But they were out there actively trying to catch us culling because they all knew we were culling.
Yep. I got it in Door County. We were under the first time I had ever heard of the 3 fish limit.
Me and you've talked about how as bass anglers do we work better with the DNR? Like, here the walleye fishermen, I mean, they can get support for stocking walleyes in a lake that looks like Lake Okeechobee. No business stocking a walleye in there. That's a put and take fishery. You're never going to reproduce. Shawano, White Lake, Waiwiga, never fish there. They have to run an aerator to keep it from freezing out. But especially up at the bay, I think a lot of people, there's some animosity towards bass fishing as well. They're just lying and they're always skirting the rules anyway. So why even consider what that tournament guy wants to say or wants, because we haven't been over time probably the best stewards of building that relationship.
Yeah, we're all guilty of that for sure.
Right.
We can, I think every state, be it the organizers, be it the anglers, whatever, we need to do a better job as a whole of working with the local authorities, the DNR, giving them a heads up about the tournaments. Like Michigan, I don't know if you ever looked at Michigan's tournament registry, but it's awesome. Michigan has it figured out.
Yeah, never.
It is the most unintrusive, simple, very dumbed down. Anybody can go on there and get a tournament permit.
Yeah,
super easy. Wisconsin, oh my god, why does everything have to be so hard? And then it's $200. Well, where's this money going? Well, it goes to conservation. Okay, where? Let's see where our $13,000 over the last 15 years have gone. They can't show you where it goes.
Yeah.
Michigan, it's amazing how they do it. Minnesota's, you got to be a Minnesota resident, but it's really easy. Yeah. North Dakota, easy. There's just, for some reason, Wisconsin's got to be difficult. And I would imagine California is probably the same way.
It's a joke.
Shocker.
It's an absolute joke. But one of the biggest problems is we're losing fisheries in San Diego County. We're down to 2 lakes, and we're talking 1,200. What's the surface acres? 1,200 surface acres on these 2 lakes that we've got. That's all we've got for tournaments now. Because they've shut everything else down. Because they're all water storage reservoirs, and they haven't repaired the dams in I don't know how long. So they shut 3 of them down now. So it's the tournament scene in San Diego is in absolute shambles because of that. But as far as organizing tournaments go, the Jamboree is kind of a joke. We really need to look into what Michigan's doing, like you're saying, because
look it up, needs to be easier. There's literally a map of Michigan. You zoom in on the boat landing you want, click on it, 4 questions, done. They regulate how many tournaments go out of that, like first come, first serve. Yeah. They regulate on there how many tournaments there can be. So if there's 4 and you can only have 4, they'll deny it right there. Costs nothing, quick, simple, easy to use.
I think Wisconsin's just not that organized. Like they just seem to be a little oblivious.
Well, and it's a revolving door.
Yeah.
The fisheries in Wisconsin, tournament fisheries, like that department, is just a revolving door. I don't know if that's the bottom of the barrel, like entry level of getting in. Yeah. But we had a really good person for a long time. And I had a super good relationship with him. And I could call him anytime and be like, hey, we're having this X, Y, or Z. They had a really bad problem if you don't turn in your report from your event in a certain day. You used to have to mail it in. So snail mail it in. Well, if you didn't have that in for all your events, you would get denied for your next permit. Well, if I mailed the thing in April 2nd, our tournament was April 1st, I got denied for my May 10th tournament. Well, it's probably sitting on somebody's desk somewhere
Yeah.
that hasn't processed it yet. So,
Mhm.
you know, that guy pushed to get it all automated,
Yeah.
which it is now. But now he's gone. So now nobody has a clue.
You
what's
got to
going
build
on.
a relationship with somebody.
See, everybody here meets at a meeting and puts in for permits.
Really?
They're all basically drawn from a hat.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
So,
How are you
they
supposed to
could-
plan anything?
No, it's a joke.
I've only had one tournament permit denied, and that was for Green Lake.
Yeah.
Because in Wisconsin it goes off of acreage. You can have so many tournament boats per acre. I think it's 10 per acre. So if you have a 100 boat tournament, you need to be on at least 1,000 acres, right?
Yeah.
Green Lake is a smaller lake, and I had 100 and whatever.
Yeah.
But there was already X amount of tournaments
Yeah.
for that month already scheduled.
Yeah.
So I got denied. So I called another tournament organization. I said, hey, can you move yours into this month? Because it was a club tournament, and that will open us up to be able to have our Wisco event there. And they did.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting the permit. But the Bay of Green Bay, nobody will ever get denied. Ever.
No.
They can't deny a tournament. And they'll tell you that there's zero effect. Up until this whole Door County thing,
Yeah.
the biologist and all over the Bay will tell you there's zero effect from a tournament.
Yeah.
It's all the locals just constantly complaining
Yeah.
because we get all these Illinois people coming up and don't want to see a bass boat fishing in front of their house
Yeah.
when they're on vacation.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of local pushback for various reasons.
You guys get that out there too, the local pushback?
You guys don't have houses
really.
by water.
No, we don't really. The pushback that we've got is the fight between the wakeboarders and the bass boats.
Yeah.
You know, they'll
All
shut down
sick.
they'll shut down two coves for wakeboarders on one of our lakes. They won't let us fish them. They'll let us fish there right off the bat. And as soon as a wakeboarder pulls up and pays for the permit for that cove, and I think it's like $13 for the day. They bought the cove for $13 for the day.
How much
and they
do you
kicked
pay to
every
launch
bass
a boat
boat
there?
out of there.
Yeah.
How much does it cost me to launch?
Yeah.
It cost me $20 to fish for the day.
Ow. I would struggle with that one.
So you got 5 boats fishing. This was one of the last tournaments that I fished at this place.
Talk about
You
stepping
got
over dollars.
five
pickup
bass
time.
boats. You got 5 bass boats fishing in this cove, pulled in there first thing in the morning. We've been fishing for 3 hours. Ranger comes in there. Hey, wakeboarder bought it. You guys got to get out. And it's like you seriously made a rule where a guy can buy the cove for $13 when the 5 of us spent $100 to be able to fish the lake, and for $13 you're gonna boot us out of here. It's like, hey, it's the rules. I didn't make them.
Yeah. Tell you what,
Holy
if,
crap.
if
So what's the fine if you get caught in there?
I don't know. Well, you're allowed to fish it until you get booted. But once
Right.
you get booted, you can't go back. And I don't know what the fine is after that. They'll probably just kick you off the lake. I don't know if they'll actually fine you. But we have yet to find out. Maybe I'll try it next time.
I wonder.
Might be worth it.
Depends if you're
So-
on them or not.
So if a guy
Exactly.
if a guy buys his wakeboard permit for that bay, do they shove the other wakeboarders into that bay, or does it go just down the line? You could have one wakeboarder in every bay, and next thing you know, none of the
I
fishermen
think
have a bay.
that guy owns that cove.
Come on. So one guy,
unless
could
he
go-
wants-
$13.
one guy could take
Unless he
$1,000 and go shut the lake off. Shut off every cove.
Wait, how much?
Like I don't
No,
know.
no,
how
no,
many-
no.
I
This
don't
is-
know how
no.
many coves there are,
Sorry.
but
I should have put it in better context. This is one cove. They allow it in one cove because they have a slalom
okay.
course. In that cove.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, they're not shutting the whole lake down.
That-
But it's one
that
of the
makes-
best coves in the lake.
Well,
It's
that's not
always
much
got
better,
fish.
but
yeah, that's not much better. But I mean, if you knew
Yeah.
that the only place you're going to deal with a wakeboard boat
I wouldn't go there.
is on one bay
No, but
on
but
Bengal,
it's not the only place. No. Oh, yeah, it's not the only place you're going to deal with a wakeboard boat. You're just not allowed in there. You got to deal with all the other wakeboard boats in the rest of the lake.
You ever been to
Oh.
Lake of the Ozarks?
No.
You have never seen a boat
I've been to
wake.
Bull
in your
Shoals.
life.
yeah,
You've never seen a boat wake in your life
Uh-uh.
until you go there.
Really?
It is.
Really?
oh, that's horrible.
It is unbelievable.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard the stories, but
Oh my!
never
God.
seen it.
Alright. Well, I don't know.
I was there in March.
How's that compare to war games on the bay? With the battle.
With the battleship? That was awesome. So Marinette,
that was such a bad day. I was out there.
I was out there too. Marinette Marine is on the northwest side of Green Bay. They build these littoral battleships for the Navy, giant ships, like literally combat ships. And it was a 4th of July weekend. They thought it'd be a good day to go out and do sea trials, and it was piss on a plate flat.
Yeah, it was piss on a plate flat.
I was on Chambers Island, like fishing around Chambers. No, we were on Sister Shoal. And I seen this boat, like it's on the other side of the bay, 12 miles away, and you could see it. Like it looks like a hot dog flying across the surface. Because about an hour later, I said to Gary, I'm like, is that a wake? This freaking 14-foot wave, 4 of them, back to back, a set, comes at us. And luckily I saw it. Like if I would have got caught by the first one, it would have capsized us. Like I got the bow turned into the first one.
Then.
Yeah.
I got the bow turned into the first one, rode up it, and we come back down. I'm like, get on the motor. So Gary jumps on the motor and he turned us away. So we just rolled. They rolled through us from the back. While on Chambers Island, it was faced, the north was facing where them waves were coming from. Well, that's where everybody beaches for the party.
There's a big bay on the north side of Chambers Island that just big horseshoe bay facing straight north, and it's straight into these wakes.
There's millions of dollars worth of boats in here, and probably 3,000-4,000 people.
Yeah,
these waves come pounding in there and did millions of dollars in damage that the Navy had. To so it was on the news. It was.
That's like fishing San Diego Bay here in the ocean. We've got it's a major Navy port, and you got carriers carriers and destroyers coming in and out of there, and tugboats pulling all kinds of crap. And I mean, they don't move like that, so they're not pushing 14-footers. But if you're running 60 through the bay and you don't see one of those things coming, you're been flying.
Dead. You'd have been dead.
Yeah. So that day you were up there. Yeah. I don't remember this, but. So I was fishing on the north side of Strawberries, like up by the Pelican Island.
Yep.
We're fishing all around that, me and Ted Johnson. We come back and we're fishing the steps just north of Fish Creek. And I'm pointed right at Fish Creek. And all of a sudden I just happen to turn around. No, this wave's gotten broke up and busted up all by those islands.
By the shoals, yeah.
By the shoals. But I turn around and look at it and I'm like, whoa. Some don't look right. Yeah, it looks like the water goes uphill, and then I can't see anything beyond said line. Like the horizon's too close to you. Like something don't look right. I look at Ted and I'm like, "Oh shit, that's somebody's big boat wake, whatever." And it was way bigger than we thought.
Yeah.
But I made it into Sister Bay, or into Fish Creek.
Into Fish Creek.
I made it because I knew whatever it wasn't good. I did not need to be in there. So we got in on the other side of the break wall.
I had a buddy that I was selling beer in Marinette at the time. And I knew a bunch of the Navy men and people that worked on the boats and stuff. So when I got there that after the 4th of July, I'm like, what the hell? What are these guys thinking? Like, what are you guys? Well, that's the Navy. They don't know what day it is. They don't care. They don't think of it. Well, it cost them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
He was telling me that they got that boat that day. The thing ran like 65 miles an hour. The thing is insanely fast. Like it runs like 65 miles an hour, and they got before they put this deck on the final deck, they had to run the motor, the train, like everything through the ringer, try and break it basically. Yeah. So
they're moving 65 there.
He told me that they were running wide open, all engines forward, as fast as that thing will go, and just slam it in reverse.
Yeah. Try to break it. They're out there trying to break it.
Will stop. And that's what they were doing when they were making them waves that wake that day. They would get the thing running, and then they would turn left, they would turn right, and it just disturbed the hell out of everything. And
there was a big cigarette boat on Chambers.
Well, they literally took 30-foot yachts and set it on shore.
I figured it was like
I bet
30 yards or something up on shore. It picked up like. How big are some of them?
People got hurt.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was
craziness. It was all over the news here.
And fishing was phenomenal that day too.
It was good fishing.
Yeah, we cracked their ass on a fluke that day.
Everything got moved around.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was. it was crazy. Them waves were just nuts.
I've never seen anything like
we
that.
had it open.
You think-
we had nothing blocking it where we were. And it was just like, what in the hell is that? And then you put 2 and 2 together. Well, that's from that ship.
And you sit there and you think barge traffic's bad on the Mississippi River.
The thing with a barge is they don't put out much of a wake.
No,
they just suck water out of places.
They suck water, and it's the back and forth but like they're steep wakes. Like you don't want to hit one not knowing you're hitting it.
No,
because you're gonna go, oh crud.
Yeah,
but yeah, I can only imagine.
I want to get back to. Go ahead, finish up.
So it's so crazy because that weekend there's so many boats up there, just pleasure boaters running around their little 20, 22 foot like skidoo, runner boats, they're inboards, whatever, just running all over the place up there. There were like mosquitoes that day because it was flat calm. I mean, you could see as far as
it was literally flat. There's no wakes.
And I can't imagine how many people went airborne and
there's a lot of stuff broke that day.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll let Adam get us back on track.
Yeah, let's get back on track. I want to get back to the tournament stuff. In San Diego specifically, I grew up fishing in clubs. The average club had somewhere between 15 and 30 guys in them. And we had 20 clubs in San Diego County. Our team tournaments were drawing anywhere between 35 to 80 boats pretty consistently. And I don't think we even have 10 clubs in town anymore. The club that I'm part of has 5 guys showing up for tournaments. Our team tournaments are down to, you're lucky if you get 30 boats. What are you seeing in Wisconsin? And I know, Kurt, you've got a point of view from anglers that you talk to down south as well. What are we seeing across the country as far as the status of the amount of anglers fishing tournaments these days?
Well,
I'd like you to start at the bottom and go up. So start at clubs because
that's what I was going to do. Is the club level in Wisconsin, like you talk about the county out there. Granted, it's more dense; you got more people. The state of Wisconsin, the last I knew, there was 32 clubs across the whole state.
Across the whole state, yep. The biggest club is about 50, 55 members, which is Wolf River Men's Club. Yeah. I'm the president of a club, Great Lakes Bass Anglers. We are at one point the biggest club in the state, and we're down. We just had a meeting on Saturday. We're down to like 35, 36. But I would say the average is probably 10 to 12 people per club.
Would you say that's changed?
Absolutely, yeah. When I was on the Wisconsin Bass Nation board, we were pushing 650, 700-ish members across the state, and now that's down into the 400-ish. That's just guys that are in the Bass Nation, right?
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask. So when you say there's 30 some clubs, is that just Bass Nation?
That's just Bass Nation. So that's not counting.
And I know there's plenty
the MLF side, but.
Well, and there's plenty of non-affiliated clubs.
And
I know that from talking to Adam, like he's talking like his clubs. They were non-affiliated. I don't know if they're affiliated anymore.
Yeah, there's
some of them are, some of them aren't.
Yeah.
I would guess there's probably another dozen that are not affiliated around the state. Maybe 15 that I know of. But again, they're the same. They might have 20 members, but 5 of them show up.
Yeah.
Even our club.
Got it.
We have, like I said, 35, 36, and we'll get 8, 9 boats.
Yeah.
And we only have 3 co-anglers, non-boaters in our club.
Yeah.
That's where the biggest change is that I've seen is the amount of co-anglers they're just non-existent. They're just not around. There's not guys that come and fish that don't have a boat anymore.
Is it because everybody bought a boat in COVID?
No.
It's been that way for a while.
It's been that way for a while.
Hard to have.
If guys don't take the step and go buy a boat, they just get out of it. Or a lot of guys went to kayaks.
Kayak
fishing has grown.
Yeah, the kayak tournament thing has grown as well.
Definitely.
Is there kayak clubs here?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep. There's KBF.
Because I know on the Wolf River we run into that where you see all of a sudden like in Shackton, which is a little town, but we're not having regular bass tournaments there. Full-fledged bass tournaments, and all of a sudden you're like, why is there so many guys with the like full kayak rig trailer behind their truck or car or whatever?
Yeah, the Winnebago system gets a lot of kayaks tournaments.
Because there's water that you're not worried about running into a
Yep.
bunch of 20-foot, 21-foot bass boats.
Tournament wise, like, your team tournaments, your open style tournaments, pre-COVID was better than COVID, to be honest. The 2000s, up to 2010, 11, 12 was, for what I saw, the boom of tournament fishing. There was a couple series that were giving away boats at championships and we're getting big draws. That went away. That series, Big Bucks Bass, just went away. There wasn't really, Fishers of Men was around on Bago, but nowhere else.
Yeah. That sort of came and went a couple times.
That came and went. We never really had a really big trail in Wisconsin. Angler's Choice would be it now if you want to qualify for a championship. And
Wapta was pretty good for a while.
Wapta
was really big.
Wapta was really big, and they still have a good average.
Because they have two divisions.
Just one now. I believe.
Was it just one?
Yeah, I think they're down to one.
They had a big entry division and a smaller entry division, like a 150 and a 300. I think they were called.
Yeah, now I believe they just have the 300s.
Yeah,
and their average is down. There's another tournament series that doesn't have much of an average, and then Wisco Bass, we started in 2019, and we started off first year with 61 boat average, and then grew rapidly. And we're a single series. We don't have a team trail, right? We just have a single series, and it took us a few years to get our feet of what we are going to be as far as how do you qualify for a championship? Do you just do Angler of the Year? Do you pay out for this? Do you pay out for that? And now we're locked into what we are, and that's 4 events with a championship, top 50 qualify to the championship, or top 40, I think we did this year, qualify to the championship. And then we take money off of each event to feed the championship purse to build it a little higher. So that's what we're locked into now, and we're seeing, our numbers stay high. Our average is still in the 80s. So we talked about this a little bit before we got off of air, where we must be doing something different than a lot of people. There's a lot of really successful tournament trails around the country that I follow, right? One Bass being one of them. And I just don't see the consistent averages. And, down in Alabama, obviously that's the mecca of bass fishing. You'll see 150 boats in one tournament, but then there's one with 27 in the same trail. It's like, what the heck? It's summertime, right? Some guys just don't want to fish during the summer because it's too hot.
Yeah.
You see that extreme fluctuation where with Wisco, we don't see that.
I know a handful of guys. You asked about COVID, pre-COVID versus COVID, post-COVID. I know a lot of guys that were, that baby boomer generation, that the fishing pressure when they'd go fishing during the week, during COVID, just sort of soured the taste in their mouth.
Yeah. You're probably one of them too.
Oh, well, yeah, I took a little bit of a break because I was just like,
It's so much different when you get to fish during the week.
Yeah.
And then when you fish during the week and there's 50 boats out there.
I don't even want to say what really bothered me, but it was ultimately, I'll go part detailed, but there's just so many people on the water that had no business driving a boat.
You're not wrong.
If there was one thing I'd say that should change, there needs to be a more lengthy class and more education about boater safety and how to drive a boat. Because, man, I seen some just really dumb stuff on top of some really unsafe stuff.
Yeah. Well, look at Alabama.
Do you guys require a boater safety course to own a boat and drive a boat?
Not to own, to operate in the state of Wisconsin.
Like me and you don't have to have
Is
one.
it?
Yeah. I have one. I took it when I was young, but when I was 14.
Is it to operate if you own the boat, though?
Only under a certain age.
So
once you're 18, you don't need it.
If you were born after, I think if you were born after 86, you do.
You have to have it.
Yeah, no matter what. You have to have it if you're born after 86. Like they did that with
in California.
I know Alabama you do. I don't know that you do in Wisconsin.
I think you do.
So in California, as a boat owner, I have to have a boater safety course done with my CF number, my registration number, in under that course.
Yeah.
A guy that rents a boat from they have Airbnb, services where a guy will drop his boat off. If a guy's renting a boat, he does not have to have the boater safety card.
Really?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
You have to have.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
The fish tournament. The tournaments are making it mandatory.
Oh, tournaments making it mandatory.
I just Googled it off on the license. You're born after 89.
89.
You must carry it.
Yeah.
Younger operators 15 can operate if accompanied by an adult. Yeah, so you do have to have it in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So out here, you got all these bass anglers who own boats that have to get their boater safety card that are being safe, 99% of the time. You got your one-offs, but you've got these other people who've never operated a boat before. Somebody drops a boat off for them. Like,
that doesn't make any sense.
Dude, you want to talk about asking for a death wish?
I think, because I've been party to through the Cons Club, some of the boater safety course stuff out there. I probably learned more when I went through my Coast Guard training when I worked for Boat US than I did in that boater safety course booklet.
Yeah, it's a joke. It was a joke when I took it when I was 14.
Because there's, I grew up on the Wolf River in a small town where almost everybody has a 14 or 15 foot flat bottom with a 25 horse tiller. Most people that have never drove a tiller in their life have no business ever driving a tiller.
Right.
Because you turn it left to go right, people struggle once you get it figured out. But it's really easy on a small river to go in the pickers because you
made a mistake or let go of the stick.
Let go of the stick, hit a log, whatever.
I saw a boat doing donuts around a guy one morning at a marina because he let go of the stick.
Yeah. But there's a big difference between driving that big walleye boat and driving my Ranger and driving a Triton bass boat or your Camus.
Yep.
Just my Ranger, you better be careful how you bring that nose down.
No,
because that nose can hook bad.
Yeah,
if you drop it. Ask Jeff Gagno.
We don't. Yeah, we hit a pontoon. we don't allow tillers. I shouldn't say that. We do allow tillers in Wisco. They got to be a certain length boat, and it's got to be a certain person. Like if I get somebody I don't know, like a younger 17, 18-year-old kid that wants to fish, and I don't know him, and he's got a tiller, I'm going to question it because they're just so unsafe. And there's walleye boats, Warrior walleye boats, come with a 300 tiller on them.
Yeah.
A 300.
Which is power steer at least.
Well, there's so much torque that once you're over a certain RPM, you have to turn by button.
Yeah.
You push a button to go left, back to right, left to right.
Yeah.
It's unsafe. It's unsafe as all get up.
Yeah.
And
I bet
a friend of mine actually crashed his. He was running on the tiller handle, his 300. And I don't remember what happened, but something happened where the stick ripped out of his hand and launched him over the side.
Yeah.
Well, his kill switch, he had it wrapped around his wrist, never pulled.
Pulled off his wrist.
That 300's running 40 miles an hour in a circle, and he got picked out of the water like seconds before getting ran over by it.
Yeah.
And man, tillers are just insanely unsafe on the big horsepower.
Yeah, on the big horsepower. It used to be what? I think the limit used to be 90, but now that
300 tiller.
Yeah.
No, I'm not getting in
That's
that.
great.
It's like getting on a cross. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm not riding anything bigger than me.
Yeah. There's no brakes on this thing. I like going fast at times, but in a boat. But once you get around a crowd or on a river or something where there's turns, and you just got to be sensible.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that just aren't sensible. A lot of them own bass cats.
Well, and I grew up in the little boat, and
you don't have a bass cat, do you?
I got a Champion. Exact opposite.
It is.
All the nice guys drive Champions.
Yeah.
But I grew up not as a bass fisherman, right? I mean, I was a bass fisherman, but I grew up in the environment that is the local walleye guys. Everybody passed on the rivers, somebody no one drives full-fledged past anybody. You know where I'm from,
Right.
Everybody slows down to a true idle, like literally zero wake.
They don't Gerald Swindle you and just launch by.
No, as bass fishermen, we're like, no, keep her on pad. I don't want you sitting down near my fish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just go full pad. But
Put them up.
You're fishing different when you're pan fishing or walleye fishing. Like you give that guy 100 feet, set down those little flat bottoms, those little tiller V bottoms. Don't do a big set down like we do. So I just learned like that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But you see so many guys, and I don't care what reason they're out there. I don't care if it's a pleasure boater, bass fisherman, walleye fisherman, guy in a big lund, just bluegill fishing. They set down a pitching distance off your bow and take off a pitching distance from your motor, and they think they're doing you a favor.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I would have rather you stayed wide open, right?
Yeah.
But, that's the type of stuff those unwritten rules are the type of stuff that's not getting taught in boater safety.
Well, and there's a lot of times, guys, most complaints I get from a tournament from locals is they're unsafe. Shawano. We got Shawano Lake's a big lake, but where all the tournaments run out of, there's a thoroughfare, like a river it's actually the Wolf River that runs out into Shawano. And it's 1.5 miles, 2 miles long.
I'd say it's good 2 miles.
Yeah. And it's narrow, and there's some sharp corners in it, and there's a bridge you got to run under because you can idle under it, but nobody does. We all run under the bridge, and every time we run a tournament there, right after takeoff, we're getting screamed at.
Yep.
Getting screamed at. So what we did is we put a 40 mile or 45 mile an hour speed limit on it.
Yep.
Like everybody has to run 45. We don't take off until after the trestle.
Yeah.
They got to idle under the trestle. And if you get a complaint and they have your boat number, you're going to get disqualified.
Yeah.
If it's a valid complaint. If you're running past a kayaker on pad in a 40-foot wide thoroughfare, that's unsafe.
Yeah.
You're going to get it.
Yeah.
And we made it known that we want to keep coming here. Shawano supports us. The chamber supports us coming there, but all the locals hate us because one guy's got a bass cat, so he's got to run 87 miles an hour just to say he did. Otherwise he loses his tramp stamp. They got to burn it off if you don't do it. Bass cat owners are a different breed, man. I don't know if it's like that out there, but it is around here. It's like Ricky Bobby. I just want to go fast.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about the bass cat guys. I mean, I know a handful of bass cat guys are definitely not that way.
Yeah, some of the older guys.
But man,
Jerry Schumacher likes to go fast.
Oh yeah.
I got a buddy that actually at our bass club meeting the other day, Brian Eisch. He's got a bass cat, and he's wide open all the time.
He's a bass cat guy
all the time, wide open, and he's an Army guy, so he's high intense, right?
Yeah.
And we're in our meeting, and I'm like, hey, did you ever see Sons of Anarchy or a biker club? If you get kicked out of the club or whatever, they burn the tattoo off your back.
Yeah.
That's what they do to your tramp stamp, and he's just laughing.
Yeah. He's got a good sense of humor, so he can take it.
I am not sorry, Bass Cat guys.
What's that?
I am not sorry, Bass Cat guys, because they're all the same.
You want
to? They'll pass me until we get out to the lake and we get a little chopped, and I'll run by them.
There's two guys that have owned bass cats that I've been in their boats. One's Jeff Gagno.
Yeah, I didn't know Jeff had a bass cat.
Yeah, he did for you. A little Riverside when they switched out.
Sure.
Triton Stratus.
Jeff was probably sensible.
Jeff was definitely sensible. And then now Luke Clausen.
Yeah.
Right? And in my experience, Luke Clausen drives like the biggest baby. Like, I don't want to burn any more gas than I have to. Somebody beats me there. Well, just whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he's just.
But, yeah, they're a different breed. There's two of them that are decent then.
Yeah.
But in tournaments, everybody's does dumb things at times.
We're all guilty.
I'm guilty of it for sure during a tournament
I shouldn't have done that.
I get caught up in the moment, like I'm going to be late. So you're pushing a wake. Everybody's done it. It's just the safety thing, like you're talking about shutting down for other boaters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's what's missing out of more than anything in nowadays. Because I don't think like 20 years ago, the Bass Cat guys were like, I'm going to own a different boat because it's different, right? Sort of like the Allison and those other guys too. But now it's just, I feel there's just such a ignorance towards the common courtesy of, I think that's the biggest thing with wakeboarders.
Oh yeah.
I've got a guy that I shoot trap with, got a wakeboard boat. He's a fisherman too. And you look at these reports coming out of Minnesota, look at these reports, and I'm like, you probably should get rid of that wakeboard boat while you can. Like, you're not a big wakeboarder.
Well, it's not even so much
and
the safety behind it, it's they're destroying lakes.
Right. And he's just like, why? I don't know. Like, I go out in Bago and I get out in the middle of the mud. I said, Winnebago's not deep enough for you to not affect that mud.
What was it, like 14 feet that wake was going down?
Yeah. Minnesota, when they did their thing.
That's
14
crazy.
feet. Lake Winnebago's deepest point is 20 feet. And it's all the way up on the north end where it dumps in the river.
There's video of it. Check it out once. Look that up. It's wild. Where a wake boat comes by, a sediment, like soft sediment, you see the boat go by, and it just whoosh after it, just
ripping everything up.
Just
destroys
rips all
it.
the sediment on a rock bottom up, and then that in turn gets up in the water column, gets blown into shore. Now you got more sediment and everything up shallow.
Yeah. Well, it wakes up things that are buried in the mud, right?
Right.
Like all the different plankton and whatever else, causing, algae blooms and whatever else, weed growth, weed spread.
Well, that's it. So not that long ago, I'm sure you've seen it. I don't know if Adam's seen it, but I'm sure you've seen it, where Kentucky now restricted what lakes can have wakeboard boats on it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Alabama's doing it too.
Yeah. But
yeah,
that's, on first glance, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. On first glance, you're like, oh, that's really great, right? So now you're telling me all the wakeboard boats that are in the state of Kentucky are going to be on like 3 different bodies of water?
exactly.
Yeah. And
Like Kentucky Lake's one of them?
I didn't think about that side of it.
Right.
At least Kentucky Lake's big. It's
right.
It's massive. It's
massive and it's deep. If they're out in the middle of the channel, they're not stirring up nothing.
Right. But you're right. They're all going to be.
You're concentrating that effect, and that's not great either. Imagine what would happen if on the Winnebago system they said, hey, you can have wakeboard boats, but you can only run them on Bago, or you can only run them on Poygan. Well, that whole system, they're putting in break walls all around the whole lakes to try to maintain the shoreline and the marshes and not have the wakes and the waves, because it's not just wakes, it's also wind-driven waves.
There's a couple of really good things about wakeboarders, wake boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
it's the scenery.
Scenery.
Especially on a slow day fishing. Maybe
where Adam's from.
Well, I don't know what you're looking for, but there's a few that satisfies me.
I'll make sure to send a link to your wife.
She won't care. She agrees.
That's the only positive thing.
Yeah, you're not wrong about the only positive thing is right. Them freaking things are expensive.
Yes, they are.
$250,000 to play loud music.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the problem is
everybody else off.
You can see a lot of them. They're just so low, and they're just driving around, playing music, having a party. Not even boards on the racks, and they're ballast up.
Yeah. So we have some Thursday night tournaments.
Beverage, please.
Oh, sure. It's a dive bar.
Did you miss those get delivered?
I saw.
We received a delivery.
I did think, honestly, that because of the name, we were going to have to drink High Life, and I was going to be very upset.
No, I wouldn't. You know me better than to make you drink High Life.
Yeah, I worked for Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch for almost 20 years, so I still loyal.
I need to text the wife and give me a delivery.
That is something that's pretty cool. So not only has Kyle got all this experience in bass fishing, but he worked for like the beer distributor, I would say, for the city, the area, the greater area of Green Bay, the city of Green Bay. So you've spent some time in the bowels of Lambeau Field with the beer deliveries, and we wonder why his back's bad.
Yeah. Carry half barrels around as a 19-year-old kid like an idiot, like I did.
One on each shoulder.
You just some put your body through some dumb stuff.
back to the tournament thing. Like, you've been around in it. We talked about how things have changed in Wisconsin. I guess I would.
There's to answer your question, there's definitely been a decline.
Yeah.
COVID, there's a little spike. Boat sales for sure spiked nationwide.
Yeah. I think COVID drove a lot of people to go fish, but I don't know how much true effect it had on the tournament angling scene.
Oh, I think it was pretty substantial. We head-to-head fishing, I run that as well, and we saw a massive spike in viewership because we did everything live.
I'm just saying, like, participation in like the local team tournaments and all that.
Well, from the events people watch live, they turned into tournament anglers. I'm not talking by the masses, but I can think of probably 40 guys that have told me that, because of head to head, I started fishing again, and now I want to do tournaments, or I got into
because they were watching, they joined.
Yes,
Got it.
Kind of rallied them in, right? Like I said, not by the thousands, but 40 boat sales in Wisconsin is a massive percentage increase.
Yeah.
For the industry as a whole.
Because I would say during COVID, I seen probably a good doubling in the amount of bass boat traffic. That bass boat sales, but you didn't see double the numbers at a tournament. And you look at
that just happened to be our Wisco Bass's, second, sophomore, junior year, third year, where we saw 100 plus at every event.
But
some of it was probably COVID caused, but
like a lake that me and you fished quite a bit this year, Pelican, right? Yep. During COVID, there was like 3-4 bass boats on lifts on that lake.
Sure.
I never once seen a bass boat on a lift this year fishing up there.
Yeah, I don't think I did either.
I did see there was a lot of empty boat lifts on that lake.
Well, the water was so low too this year.
Yeah.
But as a whole, in Wisconsin anyway, tournament fishing is down. I can't just look at what we do at Wisco. You look at Angler's Choice, you look at the Sturgeon Bay Open, you look at the key tournaments, BFLs even, they're down. The numbers are down, and some of that is due to the big hot button is forward facing sonar. The BFLs for sure. Yeah. The individual tournaments with a co-angler. Why would you ever be a co-angler? Because they're just going to go.
I was going to ask you that about the club. I think we saw that big drop. I mean, it was always like a 60-40 thing with I don't know how it is out by you, Adam, but it was always like you always had 60% boaters, 40% non-boaters.
Yeah, for a long time we were balancing on that 50-50.
Until they came in and it's like, the non-boater's just a non-boater and he's in the back of the boat.
Well,
because like when I fished club, it was the 50-50.
What I think more than that is generational change. Like our generation, we grew up outdoors. Yeah. Right. We grew up. I didn't necessarily grow up in fishing. I grew up in racing with my family, but I realized real quick in my early adult years, I didn't want nothing to do with that. So I got onto the next stupid habit, worse than drugs. And that's tournament fishing, right? I mean, we can all attest to it. It's a drug.
You don't want your kid. You don't want your kid. I was told this a long time ago. Ted Johnson's dad used to say this all the time. If you don't want your kid to get into drugs, get him into fishing. He won't be able to afford drugs.
That's right. You're not wrong.
Exactly.
Very, very smart.
Yeah.
But a generational change, I feel, is going to be huge. And when I got here today, you were talking on the phone about the industry on the tackle side of things, how there's going to be some innovation coming if the numbers of anglers don't continue to just plummet.
Yeah.
That plummet seems extreme right now because of COVID.
Because of COVID loss.
And because of the minnow, forward facing sonar. Shaking a minnow. Yeah. Look at every tournament result. There's very, very few that's not getting one shaking a minnow or forward facing sonar of some sort.
We've seen a small micro version of this during the Alabama rig thing because I am definitely not I don't like fishing in Alabama rig.
I've never fished it.
Those are lies.
You
would fail.
Never saw one before.
You would fail.
Not what I heard.
I like tossing the chandelier.
Yeah. But I just don't enjoy catching fish that way. I've done it.
Why throw one when you can throw a 3-pack?
I just don't enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
But
the generational change, I think, is what we're going to see, and what us as like myself as a tournament organizer is, we have to cater to the kids.
Yeah.
So in our club meeting on Saturday, one thing we got really complacent on is the give back, right?
Yeah.
As a bass club, we're all competitive and want to fish, but we got away from the youth side of things, and we see our non-boaters. We got 3 of them. We got 3 non-boaters in our club, and some of that is there's no young guys coming in. The other side of that is we're not going out there and promoting it either. We're not going to local high schools and bringing the kids to us.
That would be a great way to put non-boaters in a boat, is to have your normal tournaments and have a per se youth club.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
Okay, yeah.
The Luxembourg Casco Club, we are actually having an event with them.
Yeah,
where we're supplying the boats.
Yeah,
we'll be boat captaining basically, but it's going to be like a 3-man team.
Yeah,
where it'll be them 2 and then the boat captain.
Yeah,
and if we get enough, actually, we would do individual if we get enough boats to show up.
Yeah,
where it's me and say a 16-year-old kid, and just go out, try to teach, and we're going to do it on Shawano, a place where everybody can go catch something. You know,
really. And you would fish for 5 as a team.
Have you fished there lately?
Yeah, we'll fish for 5 as a team. You could still go to a dock and catch 14 inchers. You know, you ain't going to catch 17 pounds. But yeah, we would fish as a team. I probably won't even do an entry fee. Just do it for bragging right type thing. And unless we want to do it, I could care less that way.
That's something that I'd like to see here, because in our first episode we were talking about the kids club that we've got here is SoCal Junior Bass Anglers. And it's the club guys that show up and donate their time and provide the boat for the kids to fish their own tournament. We're just there to sit back and hang out and eat lunch and let them roll and run the trolling motor if they can. But I'd like to see us kind of go that direction of put me in the position where I'm in a tournament too, because that's
they're gonna learn so much more.
They're gonna learn exactly. They're gonna watch me in tournament mode and learn so much more than me just sitting there kind of giving them a tip here and there.
What somebody told me recently, we were sort of talking about this, and it's both, I'm sort of developing a soapbox that is, how do we give back? Because I don't feel like we give back the way we did 20 years ago.
We don't,
or longer.
Well, everybody's so busy, the hustle and bustle of life.
Oh, actually, it was Adam and I talking. I don't remember who it was. So the U.S. Open, that's a true pro-am. Just like the walleye side of things.
Yep.
So if we want to get more kids doing this, and you want to get that from a grassroots from the bass clubs, run it like a pro-am.
Yep. So that tournament, are the co's fishing against themselves, or is it a team for the Bass Open?
They're fishing for their own fish. For the One Bass Open?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one you just referenced.
Yeah. No, for one Bass, you're fishing as a team.
Yeah.
You are. Okay.
You've got a pro and a AAA, and you're fishing for it as a team for the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's how like the National Walleye Tour is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the pro supplies everything. The co doesn't bring anything.
Right.
They don't bring any tackle. They're not allowed to bring anything.
Yeah.
Really?
So you get some just, people that don't ever fish. They're in it to learn, right?
Yeah.
So one pro could have, say, me as a co-angler, where I could crack a walleye on a jigging rod.
Yeah, give me a jigging rod, and
I know how to operate a spinning reel. Where another guy might flip it upside down and not know what he's doing. So I like your idea of.
But I think for the youth side of things, like that's sort of optimal. Like, bring your equipment, because like if it was me, I'd want that kid. He's going to learn more if he brings his equipment, and I can teach him. Okay, this rod of yours does not work for this.
Yeah, so we don't want kids getting in our boats because we're going to ruin them, right? Like What I mean by that is Kurt and I don't know about you, Adam, but Kurt
has all
for
junk.
sure
He has junk. Adam has junk.
Has high end everything. I've slowly been getting there.
You're as bad as me. Don't lie.
But it's a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
I would, if I'm going to do this, I would probably go out and buy 10 Dobbins rods to use that day so this kid could learn on that and be like, I don't want them to feel like, oh, I can't do it because I don't have that.
Yeah.
Because that's what this sport has become is you got to have a 250. You got to have a 21 footer. You got to have an NRX. You got to have forward facing sonar.
Yeah.
I would love to, if we do this and do it, no electronics, let's just go fish docks for the whole day.
I remember this to that point. Because yes, I am the guy. Like you're not pulling a rod on my rod locker doesn't say GLX or NRX, right?
Yep.
And almost everything's got a metanium on it.
But at one point in your life, you didn't have that,
right?
Right.
So that's what I'm getting at. So I fish with a handful of guys. Marcus, he don't care. I could hand him a Dobbins Ecstasy, or I could hand him an NRX,
just an Ecstasy,
or I could hand him a St. Croix Black Bass,
right?
As long as it does the job right, as long as the action's right, he ain't gonna think twice about it.
Well, and Marcus he's a fish hound already, right?
Right.
Like he can feel a bite through a 2x4, but a kid,
right? I don't think the kids are gonna. I think they'd maybe understand the weight of things or how something casts because of a cheaper reel versus a higher end reel, but I don't think, to the rod market's credit or discredit, I don't think there's this big a difference if you're buying the right things from $150. Like $150 Tatula Elite cork, right? Or Tatula, versus an NRX. Is that price difference creating as big a difference in product that it did 20 years ago? I don't think so. Because I fish like Troy. Troy doesn't have the same stuff, and I go fish with him. I pick up his rods. It's not that big a deal, and then I realize it's a $150 rod, and I'm like, yeah, why do I buy an NRX? I go buy an NRX next day, Yeah,
my problem is I don't fish with anybody that's not like you and I anymore, unfortunately.
Right. But what I will say, and I do, and it's like there's some really good rods out there that aren't that much.
The Dobbins Fury line is a phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I hate keep bringing up Dobbins because they don't pay us to say it, but they are a sponsor of Wisco, so I guess I will.
Yeah. Well, Madam and I are definitely not getting paid by anybody to say anything. So,
well, I know for myself, I used to have a lot of St. Croix from low end to high end, and one day I decided I didn't want them anymore. I sold them all, and I got all Dobbins.
Yeah.
And there were certain rods I liked better, and there were certain I didn't. And then as I got, able to, I would buy an NRX here and I would always gravitate to that rod.
Yeah.
And is it because I can feel everything so much better, or is it in my mind? Right. I truly believe that I can feel so much better.
Yeah.
And I kind of proved this to myself this fall. I fished with a buddy of mine, never fishes. We're fishing 30 feet of water, and he's using, I had a Dobbins for him to use a Fury because I didn't want him to break a $600 rod.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to either. And he never caught a fish most of the day.
Yeah.
And I know he's getting bit.
Yeah.
I know he's throwing the same bait I am in the same areas. I know he's getting bit. So I'm like, here, let's switch.
Yeah.
Well, I caught one on it. So now I know it's not the rod. His second cast, he cracks 5-pounder.
Yeah.
He goes, man, it feels like it punched me in the head.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
I will say to that,
same line, same reel. Rod.
Yeah, I'll say to that, what I've done, rod building and that type of stuff.
Yep.
Adam definitely knows because Adam's a rod builder. That's why I was picking on him that his stuff's all garbage.
Garbage.
Junk.
I would say the materials. The number one thing is the action of the rod. I don't care what price you pay. If the action of the rod's
100%.
not right for the technique that you're doing, you're not going to feel squat. Like
that's why I build rods.
You try to build a 6.8 medium extra fast or buy a 6.8 medium extra fast St. Croix Legend Elite. We've all owned that rod.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of us have owned that rod. You try to throw a tube in 30 feet of water on a 3/8 ounce head, you ain't going to feel anything.
Right.
It's one of the most sensitive blanks you can buy. But you're not going to feel anything. The action's wrong.
Right.
So if you're taking an NRX that's the right action, and I know that's probably the 7.3 medium extra fast JWR spinning rod is probably what you were throwing, right?
Yep.
It's the right action for a deep water tube to feel it. If that ecstasy doesn't have that same action, it's not going to compare.
Right.
I don't care about
Doesn't matter how
graphite,
much it
no.
is.
The other is the second most important thing for sensitivity, in my opinion, is those guide feet are titanium framed or they're recoils. I've built rods that are the cheapest rod you can buy from Mudhole all the way up to the most expensive rod. And if you take the most expensive rod with a stainless steel frame and you take the cheapest rod with recoils or with titanium frames and put braid through both of them, you're going to be surprised which one's more sensitive.
Yeah, you'll gravitate to the other one.
You'll gravitate to the better guides on the cheaper blank.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's why a guide set's $200 on.
And that's why,
Some of them
nowadays it's like $160 for titanium. Well, it's probably two if it's titanium Torzite Fuji's or a hybrid. But back to what I wanted to say is, so I was 11, 12, and the guy that taught me how to pitch, I didn't realize this as I was older because I didn't know. So he's showing me how to pitch, and he's got himself at the time, so we're talking mid-90s, it was a Berkeley Series 1, which was a high-end rod at that time, with the pistol grip, with the split grip. That was, to my knowledge, the first split grips that anybody ever made. And it's like a 7-foot rod, but it's got this little pistol grip and a split grip with a fighting butt on it. With a Calais or a Cronarch on it, like the highest end Shimano at the time.
Yeah.
And he's showing me the action. And there I am with my Quantum Probe combo, 6 foot or
Loving
6'6" from Walmart. And he talked that combo up like, that's really nice setup. Like this, you'll be able to do really good with it. I didn't know any different. I just fished it and it was great. And I fished that setup and I upgraded to like a Quantum Light like 2 years later that was 6'6". I didn't know what I was missing.
Right.
So, and I think if he would have handed me that rod at the time, I wouldn't have noticed either. Especially if you're fishing something with fluorocarbon on it. It's definitely not, I don't think there's difference. As long as the rod's right. And that's why I said it's important. Not every angler's particulars, Adam and I are about matching that right rod action. Like I'm always like, I'll buy a rod and say, yeah, it's not that forgiving on a slackline hook.
Kyle, sell this for me.
Sell this for me, Kyle. Here's a pile of rods. Kyle's came over here some days, and here's a pile of 10 rods.
How
Kyle,
many you got for me to sell? Like 42.
Yeah, sell these for me.
I only have my truck.
Yeah, I tried them and I don't like them. Like I feel like on short line I lose more fish than I should, so I'm gonna get rid of them.
I just jerk when the cork goes down.
Yeah, but I don't think. I think you're being oversensitive about that with the kids.
Well, I just don't want the kids to think that they have to have the higher end stuff. That's all. I just don't, because they're getting in let's just call it $100,000 boat, getting pulled there by a $70,000 truck in their mind, right?
Right.
So now that's what they want. That's what they're going to think they have to have.
There's ways you can curb that. I mean, you put them in a boat with somebody like Troy.
Yeah.
They're never going to think that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
there's enough guys that are fishing these things that there's a variation in the kind of equipment we all have. So they're going to get experience with every one of them over a season.
Yeah, if you fish with me all the time, you're going to get spoiled.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you got to think, like, not everybody, Adam's been on this side of things before. You, I know, are. I still am. There's not very many average tournament anglers that are buying the equipment that you and me have.
No, there's not. There's guys that,
our position in the industry has afforded us really good opportunities, thankfully so.
Yep.
To not only just buy really, really nice equipment, but play with a lot of different equipment and be able to move around and be like, I don't like this. I'm going to get rid of it, buy something different. Most guys just sort of fish to make it work.
Yeah, and they'll do that.
Rick Clunn fished like most of his career, if not all of his career, with like a 7-foot heavy Mod Fast Bass Pro Shops rod all the time because he just wanted to fish the same rod, know exactly how that rod worked with every single bait and never changed. He changed line. And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, that rod's too stiff for a jerk bait. Oh, you're throwing fluorocarbon? Just put mono on it.
Yep.
Cheap fix.
Or just put braid on it and reel.
Yeah. You can't get me not to set the hook. But
The industry is definitely different in that aspect.
Yeah.
It's the amount of high end gear there is just from when I switched, and the St. Croix I had were some were high end, some were
you had a lot of
premiers,
tournaments and
some were legend tournaments.
Yeah.
Which to me, a legend tournament then was a high end rod.
It still is. Legend tournament's still a
Yeah.
I had to work
if you're
5
over-
months to be able to save up enough money to get one, and I was super proud of it. You know?
I would say today the threshold's probably I would say $3, $300
Is
is
the
what I
tipping
would
point,
anything
yeah.
at
Yeah.
that point in the hires of high end. Used to be I'd say
Yeah.
two,
I'd agree.
Yep.
you know, but we've seen legend tournaments since me and you fished the originals
Yep. I had
go
some of
from
the
210
originals.
to 300,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
But it's because components go up and labor force goes up, and
Well, it's supply and demand,
St.
right?
Croix and G. Loomis, and you know, there's only a handful of U.S. built rods. St. Croix, G. Loomis,
Duckets, Alabama.
Cashin.
Cashin.
Cashin's,
That's what I was just trying to think. And then Matt Herron's on staff with them. He's a former military guy. Oh, they've been around for forever.
Phoenix.
No, I don't know. They're blanks. I don't know if Phoenix Blakes are made in the U.S.
They're not.
No. No.
Halo.
No. Kistler's
Kistler's.
what I'm thinking of. And there's obviously a lot of custom builders and guys doing different stuff, but you know that's
The-
edge rods. You know,
We talk about the give back, and us as an organization, Wisco, we need to do more. We used to do, as much as we possibly could. Brent and I were both on the Wisconsin Bass Nation board, and we were part of the youth side of things. So
Yeah.
I would run the youth tournaments, and a friend of mine, Josh, was the youth tournament director. So
that?
Credidio was from Wisconsin.
Okay, yep.
And I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
As I get busier and busier, and I'm not part of the board anymore, I just kind of got away from it selfishly, right? And
Right.
well,
you get busy doing other stuff. It's
if
hard.
we don't promote it in 10 years from now, there ain't gonna be anybody doing it, because all these kids are playing video games, and they're you look at the alcohol industry, the beer industry, alcohol in general is plummeting, billions and billions of dollars, because the younger kids aren't drinking. They don't drink. They eat edibles and smoke pot.
Yeah. Even they're not even doing that to the extent that
It's
our
all
generation definitely.
right. It's edibles. When I was,
Well, even that stuff. I just feel like none of them, like, it's caffeine. It's all caffeine.
yeah,
It's,
it's unbelievable how big of a impact, the legalization of marijuana has.
Well, there's no peer pressure when you don't leave your house and you just sit there and play video games.
And that was the next thing I was going to say, because they're sitting at home, they're not doing anything. They pop an edible and they just go to the moon.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
I think.
And if we as organizations and as what we would need to be as stewards of the sport, the older generation, which unfortunately we are now, we have to force this. Otherwise it's going to go away. In 10 years, Wisco Bass won't exist, because there won't be any new blood coming into it.
Yeah. I mean, and you and I are both, we're a couple months apart in age. And neither one of us have kids.
Nope.
Neither one of us sort of wanted kids.
My wife and I are dinks.
Yeah. But I always felt like I can be a positive influence to a lot of different kids. I don't need to have my own children,
Yeah, I can always send them home.
Right. Yeah. Get the best of both worlds.
Do you have kids, Adam?
3.
Army. Yeah, an
3?
army of them.
Nice.
But I think what I know from talking around the industry, what's hard from a brand, and I consider like Wisco Bass as a brand per se, an organization, whether that's a brand, whether that's your club, whether that's you as Wisco Bass. Things happen, you can't do as much stuff. So you sort of get stepped away from it for a little bit. The thing I would like to see change with some of these youth organizations is when there's a changing of the guard. We've all seen it. I don't care if it's fishing. I don't care if it's softball, baseball, pee-wee football. There's always a changing of guard at some point in time.
Yep.
I've seen it on the college level. I've seen it on the high school level. I've seen it on the middle school level. There's a changing of the guard, and the people who did so much prior to the new guard get ignored and left behind, and it creates a sour taste.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely creates a sour taste because all of a sudden, like, well, I can get something better somewhere else, or I can do this, or my buddy's doing this and I want to help my buddy out. We'll just have a conversation and keep everybody involved. But I've seen it so many times where it's like, no, we're just done with that brand and we're over here with this brand because, like with Logan, and you know Logan well. It was shortly after he was out of Stevens Point. I didn't really know anybody else there. Like, I tried to stay as active as I could, but Logan was sort of, and then Ted Johnson was sort of like my contact, my buffer. And then all of a sudden they're gone and I never got introduced to anybody else. Well, now there's no personal relationship. There's no loyalty.
Yep.
And after that happens a handful of times, the next thing you know, like, the new people in charge never reach out to you and do the things that the previous, people did. You get a little soured by it. And that is the hard thing. And I think that's why you see this up, down of youth involvement from people.
Yeah, 100%. I have that same feeling with parts of the Wisconsin Bass Nation.
Yeah.
We had a tournament director for the youth for years. Jesse Heineke did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
He was very proactive with the kids. He stepped away because his kids were old enough to start fishing and he wanted to be able to captain for him. Right.
Yeah.
And, nothing against the people that took over from him.
Right.
But there was definitely a fall off.
Yeah.
And then, somebody jumps in and tries to do good and gets a sour taste because the families are saying, well, it was this way when he did it. It was this way when he did it or whatever. And then the kids that are, very active in it. I'll use the Corey family, Tyler Corey,
yeah,
and Tucker Corey. His parents were huge into the youth.
Yeah,
their dad was willing to take over it. The Wisconsin Bass Nation youth, Brian was, to keep it going because his kids were there. Well, they're gone now.
Yeah,
and to my knowledge, I don't think Tyler or Tucker or Brian do anything with the youth club at all anymore. Not bashing on them guys; they're great human beings, but that's just a scenario of. Like you were talking about, that guard changes. Now there's another family. Josh Keeney's another one. His son went through the Wisconsin Bass Nation. Now he's into college.
Yeah.
So Josh takes his focus to college, doing great things down at their school. Supplying. Putting
Josh had a way to talk, had a way to network, and
he's still doing it. But now it's at the college level rather than the youth level
because he's followed his kid.
That's how it is here too with our junior club. It's always it hasn't always been the dads because Larry Wilson, the one that actually got it going, didn't have kids, at least that young, and he was the one that ran it to start. But since then, it's always been the dads of the kids that took over. And one day I'll be at that point, I'm sure, where Colin and Cameron are going to want to fish it, and probably Aubrey, and I will be probably running it. I see that happening because I've run tournaments in the past, and it'll be easy for me to step into that role. But it's just the natural progression.
From the industry side of things, I would tell anybody, if anybody's watching this and is involved in that, or like yourself, where you're going to eventually be involved in that, my number one recommendation to anybody would be, whether that's college and like Logan, where he's the president and he's running and he's in it, he's not the advisor. He's mentor under, be proactive that you're not going to be there tomorrow. So let's say you have to step away from even your bass club. Mentor the next person in. Because, I'll be honest with you, it from a brand standpoint, when I own Dirty Jigs, like you don't want to do anything against the kids, but sometimes the people that run the stuff for the kids is the biggest reason why you don't deal with them.
Sure.
And like, I didn't have a relationship with Josh Keeney. So like when Tyler Corey's generation was in that group, like I had Cox here, Canterbury, Stefan at the local archery shop in the 3D range. I got all those guys to do seminars for all these kids. And then all of a sudden somebody else is involved. They weren't there for what I did. They didn't have any relationship. No one told me. I was sort of left out in the dark.
Yep.
And I think as a brand, you're like, when you do stuff like that, you're investing into that. Like you take pride in that you're working with those groups of people. And when you feel, shut out, you don't want to go out of the way again.
Go back.
And, and it happened. It happened to me as Dirty Jigs multiple times on the college level and the middle school level. And I'm not saying that anybody should be afraid to talk to anybody, but just build the relationship, respect the relationship, and pass the relationships on. Because in my opinion, if a brand looks at you and says, well, you have to be exclusive with us, otherwise we're not supporting you. It's kids.
Exactly.
Why? It's kids. I mean, any brand that wants to say that, I think, is just,
they're crazy.
They're not looking at it as kids. They're looking at it as marketing. And we shouldn't be doing that.
You're looking at it for the wrong reasons.
Right. But, yeah. And I think that's something with all organizations, even at the adult level. Like, just, build relationships, and sometimes relationships don't work out, but.
Well, relationship is huge. Like,
right.
I work with a company I have for years, Sportomotive. I don't even buy boats from them anymore.
Right.
And our relationship with Wisco is phenomenal.
Right.
I still do my part and send them business and do as much as I can for them, even though I run a different boat brand than they sell.
Yeah.
But my relationship with everybody there, I go there. I brought my 4-wheeler there a couple weeks ago. I walk right in the shop, talk to everybody.
Yeah.
And, buying pizzas once in a while, whatever. It's once you have that relationship, if you let that go as an organization, that's shame on you.
Yeah.
Because most of these companies, for one, have a budget to spend, and they want to spend it in the industry that they're trying to sell into. And I know you said it to me in the past that I don't remember who it was, what tournament it was, where it might have even been, I don't remember who it was, but you were sponsoring the plaques.
It was Angler's Choice.
Yeah, you were sponsoring
I
the plaques.
sponsored all the plaques.
The plaques were
for like
awesome.
2 years.
They were really cool.
Yeah, I bought the plaques, sourced them, I did everything for it. Yep.
So 2 years, I got these, I got a couple plaques, and they're really sweet looking plaques. The next year, there's none. And I talking to them, I'm like, well, what's going on? Or what's going on that you're not doing the plaques? Never asked.
Yeah, just never asked.
They never
got me the
to do it.
information. Nothing. Yeah.
So, like you said, you feel like I don't want to say you get your feelings hurt, because I know your feelings ain't hurt about it, but I'm not going to pursue this.
Well, and I'm busy enough that time of year.
Yeah,
especially for up here, our tournament season, like everybody's trying to organize everything March, April, because tournament season's coming. Now I'm in a situation that I got to look at other people that I know that are just as busy or busier than I am to try to rush this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, this stuff needs to be done in December and January, February, not during the peak of my busy season and the people who I deal with busy season.
I am done with Wisco Bass 2026.
Yeah.
I am already working on 27.
Yeah.
Like all the planning that I do for Wisco has been done for 6-8 months for 2026. Like I'm always here we are. I have a couple sponsors that I'm waiting on stuff for, but we plan everything out. Okay, when do you want us to bill you for your sponsorship? Great. We put in the computer, automatically goes out. We get paid. Great. All the sponsors, all the banners, everything's done. And by second week of January, I'm on to 2027 planning.
That was what was always easy about sponsoring your tournaments, because I just would tell you, whatever your schedule is, I want to be the title sponsor of a fishery that probably is throwing a swim jig or a flipping jig.
Yep. And
with
a customer, with somebody like you, I would always find a place for that too, right? Like scheduling is the hardest thing in the world. Yeah. So if I can get some input from a sponsor, like, hey, I would like to see us in this part of the country or part of the state, well, that makes it a lot easier, because now we're going to go to the Madison chain because they want us to be more central. Or if you come here, we'll do X, Y, or Z. I don't ever want to make it only about that.
Right.
But if somebody's going to give us some funds to come there and pay our expenses for the week, we're going to definitely think about it.
I'll drive this fact home all the time, every chance I get the opportunity to, when it comes to those relationships, whether it's the kids fishing thing, whether it's working with you as a tournament director and sponsoring your trail, whether it was art for Winneconne Bass tournament, whether it's me working with Scott Canterbury and Luke Clausen and everybody else I did, Matt and Tim, it's personal relationships.
Yep.
You work with the people you want to work with. Negotiating what that value is after the fact is a different conversation.
Right.
But you work with the people you want to work with. So be easy to work with and build a relationship, and you will always
if you're
have
friends,
help.
if you're friends first,
Right.
If you're friends first, business
Yes.
is really easy.
Yes.
Super easy. And it goes again, relationships are huge. When I sold beer, I was friends. I was invested in my customers.
Right.
Like I've been out of the business now 6 years, and I still have multiple customers that I talk to on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
I still have them friendships and relationships, and I always put the friendship first. Like I cared about their kids.
Yeah.
I cared about what they were doing, and went to some sports games of their kids because I'm investing my time and energy into them, and they're going to help me in the backside because we're friends, right?
Yeah.
I will always get that jump ball when
Yeah.
it comes to us versus Miller,
Right.
because of this. And I'm not doing it sneakily, right?
Right.
I truly care.
Right.
If you're friends first, everything else after that's easy. You should be able to have any conversation way easier if you're with a buddy than you can a stranger.
Yeah. And if you, I've learned this about you. If you ever come across harsh, it's because you care.
Right.
It's not because you don't care. It's the exact opposite.
Yeah. It's passion.
It's passion. Yeah.
It's passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get that way for sure. Like
Yeah.
I got that from my mom, and I know she ain't going to apologize for it. So neither am I.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the industry as a whole is definitely different. When I first got into it, it was, and being young and naive, right? Like there's a good friend of mine now where I looked up to him for a long time when I first got in fishing. That's Caleb.
Yeah.
This guy was winning everything.
Yeah.
Like
Everything.
I would show up to a tournament and Chad and Caleb. As I got, noticed more, I should say, as people realized who I was, and I'm here. I'm not just a flash in the pan. That he's learning, right? And once I got to be competitive, because I wasn't at first.
Yeah.
Now walk by Chad and Caleb, and it's hey, what's up, Carpenter?
Yeah.
Or hey, how's it going? Or hey, great job last week. I heard you did whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you build that respect, and this industry is losing that.
Yeah, because it used to be like that was a big thing.
The camaraderie is not there.
I remember the first time. So I was around for the old Bob's days. I mean, we should just do a podcast with Marcus about the old Bob's days sometime.
I don't know if we should.
I don't know if we can we cram Marcus, Caleb, me, and you in here.
It would be
only people in Wisconsin would watch, but
yeah.
Anyway, I know these guys, but when it comes tournament time, there's the clicks, right?
Yep.
I remember
intimidated by some of the clicks for sure.
I knew that I was doing good on the Winnebago system. It was like my third or fourth. It was before Big Bucks. It was called something else, but it became Big Bucks. It was the same trail. Yankee and Sanders and Clegg and Burmeister, Keith Clegg, snagged me, handed me a beer. Oh, okay. I'm doing something.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. It was the same thing at Shawano the first time. Chad and Caleb were like, grab you, hand you a beer. You want to go to Hardee's afterwards?
Yeah,
Those two had to get to Hardee's and get their ice cream.
That camaraderie is leaving. And
yeah.
We talked about this a little before on what, I don't know what we're doing. We obviously don't do everything right with Wisco, but we're doing something right. I can't put my finger on why we continue to stay level, right, with boat numbers. And one thing I know I do is, like I said about the beer business customers, is I always try to make everybody feel wanted. I shake everybody's hand. They come across the stage. Brent talks to them. I weigh their fish. I shake everybody's hand when they leave the stage, and make them feel like they're wanted, right?
I would put it this way. You invest into your community.
Yes.
It's a community of anglers.
Yeah. And the camaraderie, we see it at Wisco, where with all the product that we get from sponsors, we give that away to the anglers after the weigh-in's over. So everybody that fished that tournament, you got to be present to win.
Yeah.
We get everybody to stick around for the end of the weigh-in, and then we draw all the raffles. Well, that builds that camaraderie of guys will form friendships, right? Like
people start talking to each other. They start sharing a little more information. Next thing you know, they're sharing phone numbers. They're talking outside of the tournament.
It's less intimidating for the new guy to come in and have somebody be like, hey, you just won. Get up there.
Yeah.
Get your prize or whatever, right? And it just helps that and creates an atmosphere of, you know, it's cheesy, but it creates the atmosphere of family, right? Like we truly care. My wife, Brent's wife, all of our helpers, everybody takes time to talk to everybody and joke around. And, you know, in the mornings, same thing. All of our staff is there. And
that's why I always supported Art.
Yeah.
Still
Art does a
drives him
great
nuts
job.
that I don't fish his tournament. Drives him nuts.
Art is awesome, but he's a huge pain in the ass.
Did he call you to wish you Merry Christmas?
He didn't call me, but he used
did.
to.
He called me.
I got a little short with him this last year, but with the whole TRS thing, and it is what it is. But
Art's just too energetic. He's too enthusiastic. He's like a big little kid.
He's like me in the fact that he's already working on donations for the year prior, but he wants 10 years in advance, and he wanted it yesterday. And if you don't answer the phone when he calls 17 times, and then
he's still
he's passionate about
like
it.
I know he cares. I know he cares, but I also know he's calling, also hoping that I will hook him up with somebody in the industry to help him out too.
Yeah.
And it's between Christmas and New Year's. His tournament's the first week of August. So I give him a lot of credit. He's ahead of the game.
Yeah.
But I always told him, like, don't be calling me in May, dude.
And he does a great job.
But that's what his whole tournament, like that's his, like, I would call it his mission statement is to get camaraderie in those tournaments. Like
he wants everybody.
He created this tournament and
it
has a big banquet afterwards with sit down meal, beers. You know, I think there's a lot of that. I think we're losing a lot of that though, and it's not out of. I don't think it's arrogance. I don't think it's anything negative. I just think that the more younger generations we get in there, their camaraderie goes through this right here, this phone.
Yeah, and most of them are like antisocial because of that.
Well, because of that.
I actually, they're introverted because of that.
A lot of these kids that I know that are like Tyler Corey's age.
I was just going to say Tyler. Yep.
They're not even necessarily antisocial. They just don't know how to do this. Right? They don't know how to do that. I actually think those guys share and are happier for each other than our generation was. It's just done in a different way. Sure. They're not hanging out after a tournament or going to the local restaurant or tavern or bar, depending on what part of the world you live in, and hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking all week on their phone. You know, they're sharing information or this or that, and I see it in archery too, like target archery. I can't believe how many kids will sit and watch a shoot off that they're not in to watch their friend. There's 20 people there to watch everybody else in that shoot off that they didn't make. Where, man, 20 years ago, you'd be in a shoot off. It was you and everybody else in the shoot off. Everybody else left.
Yeah.
That's not how it is anymore. So I think I still think there's camaraderie. I don't think we equate it to be the same.
Sure.
But
they're still communicating.
It just looks different.
Yeah. But I think for their future in business or work or whatever, like, okay, you guys sort of got to learn how to do this in-person stuff.
Yeah. So we're really struggling, Wisco, with the Adrians this year. Like, how can we make a weigh-in with no fish cool? Like, how can we make it not lame? MLF has tried. MLF spent millions, or you took me behind the scenes with them guys.
Yeah, when MLF
millions
was on
and millions of dollars to make this cool. Yeah. It's not. So Brent and I are just really, really racking our brains and putting a lot of focus on that to keep the anglers and everybody around. And, you know, our hosts, they sell food and have beer, and we want everybody to hang out. Well, in the past, everybody wants to see 30 pounds held up on the stage, right? Everybody sees a 6 pound or 7 pound smallmouth, they're cheering and happy. Well, now you're not going to see that. You're going to have pictures of fish and That's
Well,
it. So
that's what I think. I think about the only thing you can do is try to have pictures of fish.
we have a good process with the app
And-
that we're using.
Yeah, I think you have to have pictures of fish. And I would say stream and have in place, give the guys more time to talk about what they did.
Yeah. And
I mean, we see this on, I don't care what level it is. I don't care if it's the local Wednesday nighter or if it's the Bassmasters Classic. There's guys that are really good on stage for various reasons. You got Gerald Swindles to the guy that can teach you how to flip a jig just on his 5 minutes on stage at the Classic, and everything in between. I think you got to do that.
yeah,
That's the only thing you can do. I don't think you're
keeping
painted into a corner that you can't do anything more than that.
we're keeping the scoreboard private, so nobody's going to be able to see who has what. We're going to do some social media posts throughout the day to build the excitement to it. But Brent has all the weight on his shoulders being the MC of, for me, it's verify, make sure the maintenance side of everything is done, and then feed it to Brent. And, we'll have things timed out where he's going to talk to the guys, pictures are going to show other fish, and then bam, here's your weight.
Yeah.
That's a new thing we've never done.
Yeah. I would hope that you can spend more time on the stage talking in this new format.
I absolutely hate talking into a microphone. Like, this is different. If I'm holding a microphone
2.5 hours,
if I'm holding a microphone,
this is going to be a 2-part podcast.
Literally, if I'm holding a microphone,
yeah.
I will never take a microphone when I'm running a tournament ever.
Yeah.
I hate it.
You just got to put one on your.
If I put it on my lapel or on a headset, I'll talk and do it all night.
I don't know why you guys have to have a
You
microphone.
give me a stick mic. I just feel like
you don't need to have a stick mic. You just get one.
I can't stand it.
Because you are so good. I've always wondered that.
I say a lot of stupid stuff too. So
I've always wondered.
Sometimes the filter just don't catch it.
Nothing against your partner in crime for Wisco Bass, but
it's daunting. It's hard to do.
Yes, but you are very good. You're a very good talker.
It's hard to do.
And you and him could be a great team.
And
especially to make the weigh-in entertaining.
It may end up with that, or there is somebody else that we might bring in as that, that comedic side. Because I'll be stressed out over the other side of things.
Can we give Caleb like a 12-pack of beer and set him up there to talk to everybody?
When he won the Team Elite, Brent's like, "Oh no, you ain't getting off the stage without talking." And he's
such a good, funny talker too.
He's hilarious.
He's like me though. I hate the camera over there. I avoid it. Like, it's getting better just in a couple podcasts.
When I first started working for Brian at Fixed Productions, where I'm at now, we did a podcast about Wisco Bass to announce it.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I go back and watch that all the time. I was like, it was just so awkward. I hated it. And I just been forced into the production side of things where this doesn't bother me at all anymore. I honestly don't even know it's here.
Right.
You literally hand me a stick mic.
Well, yeah, because you're too animated. That's the problem. You're too animated.
I talk with my hands.
Completely off subject though. So many professional anglers that I dealt with, they're funny. They have the gift for gab.
Just scared to let it out.
Go like this to them once with a microphone.
Yeah.
They can't put two words together.
You forget everything.
Everything.
You can have, like, I did at Sturgeon Bay Open this year. Like, I had something I wanted to talk about, and that was the changes that are coming.
Yeah.
And I did well in the tournament, so I wasn't really thinking about it at the time. But I get on stage, and it's just like he puts the mic in my face. I'm like, dirt, bass, caught, good. Gone. You talk to him. I'm out of here. I can't do it with a stick mic. I just can't.
I mean, I would say that there's probably 4 or 5 guys between MLF and the Elite Series. They're every bit as funny and as quick as Gerald Swindle.
Well, John Cox is definitely one of them.
Oh yeah, but remember when John would say 2 words?
Oh, it's
taken him
funny.
5, 6, 7 years to get comfortable with being himself on camera.
I got to get to know him a little bit with the MPFL when we were involved with them, and man,
he's one of those guys. Canterbury's one of those guys. Canterbury's a riot. John Cox is a riot.
Yeah, there's a lot of good guys that fish professionally that, like you said, they just don't know how to talk when
they don't know how to be themselves and be open
or answer a question.
Yeah.
Coming from two guys that just go on tangents about stuff for hours.
That's what started this podcast.
Adam's sitting in that chair like, man, my butt's sleeping.
Adam's this is what started this podcast. Tingling. Adam was like, we need to record you on tangents. And I warned him with me and you getting on here.
Oh yeah.
That you don't know. He's trying to pinpoint me today at lunch. I was sitting in the parking lot at the restaurant and he's like, well, what's it going to be about? What are we going to do? What's it going to be about? Dude, you don't know.
Yeah. We can have a guideline, but that's going to be it.
I see that now.
I would definitely love to come in and just BS because what we should do if we do this again is Adam comes up with 10 like quick fire things, right?
Yeah.
Talk about X and then we go.
I told him, I said,
but he starts a clock.
Yeah.
When
put a time limit.
9 minutes is up.
Yeah.
If it's 9 minutes, because we're going to go to 12,
yeah,
you ain't going to stop us.
Yep.
But then ejectocito next.
Yeah.
Fire the next one.
So,
and that's when I need the ability to have the mute button so I can shut him up like I've always wanted to because he won't stop talking.
Yeah. Well, what you got to do is you got to get the mixer where you can just put in sound effects. Okay, your time's up.
Yeah.
Right.
I told him, I'm like, it's going to be real bad if we get on a topic that me and you both disagree on. And there are topics me and you disagree on.
There is
not like
there is ones we disagree on, but I think it's
a disagreement on point of view.
Right. It's never.
But we get into it on that stuff. We
can talk about the A-rig.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Thing's awesome. If I ever
Might
try
have
it,
to have about 3 more beers before the show for that one.
No. It boggles my mind, his opinion on the A-rig, and it fires him up when I tell him, that's just because you like using it. Because from a tournament perspective, I'm like, I don't know why my thought process doesn't make more sense to you, but
it's a tool. It's a
tool. Like, I agree to that.
Everybody has the same opportunity to use it.
Yes.
There's guys that are really, really good with a jerkbait.
Yes.
There's guys that can't catch a cold with a jerkbait.
Yeah. Oh.
There's guys really, really good with a topwater. There's guys that can't catch them on a on a topwater. It's no different than Alabama.
Our opinion on the Alabama rig.
Let's not get too far into it. Let's save it for another episode.
We'll do that on another episode, and we really should.
That'll be a topic.
I don't know if you want to do this. I don't know if I want to do this.
Do anything.
But on a future episode, we really should talk about how we had an entire VRBO house full of bass fishermen looking for places to hide.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that one. We drank a lot of beer that night.
Yeah,
I did.
I
had to sleep on the floor.
These guys pulled some shenanigans, and they thought that they had stirred a pot, and we're really going to cause some drama. It was probably the best thing that ever happened to me and you in our relationship.
For sure. It was the hatchet because we had to get buried because the hatchet was dumb.
We had to bury a hatchet, but everybody they were literally like taking bets on who was going to win a fist fight.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
I would have let them win.
And leave it. We'll talk about it later.
It was a complete setup. Complete setup.
Yep. I'm still trying to recover from that week financially because it cost me the whole price of the house to stay there, and I had to sleep on the floor. I paid $900 for. Yeah.
I paid what I was told to pay.
I paid $900 for me and Carl. Carl slept on a recliner, and I slept on the floor.
Yeah, I paid what
I was there
to pay.
4 days less than everybody else.
Yeah. Well, not less than me because I left early.
You left.
Me and Ben left early.
Yeah.
But yeah. We should have Marcus on for that too because he was there for that.
Was he?
Yeah. Yeah, because Marcus and I came up. We practiced with Ben and Casey.
That's
and
right.
Then Marcus fished with Casey and because Ben had that wedding.
Yep.
So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good times. Good times. But yeah, we had how many people were in that house?
To me, it felt like 100. I hope everybody was comfortable.
There was 12. There was at least 12.
I swear, as they were doing it on purpose, so we were uncomfortable to fish.
There was 12. There was 12 guys.
And we ended up
at
finishing
least.
fourth and had big bass.
And one guy was actually looking out the window because they knew when I was getting there, and they knew you were getting there afterwards.
Oh, that's
and
right. Neely was there too.
Yeah, Sean Neely was there. I think Neely was the one that was looking out the window after me and Marcus got there.
Was he fishing with Lonnie then?
Yes. No,
He got crapped on by a bird at that meeting.
no, he was not with Lonnie. He was with. Did he fish with Bob then? Arndt?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
But yeah, they were watching out the window to see when Kyle's there, and then all of a sudden there was whispers, "Kyle's here, Kyle's here." All right, let's see what happens.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun fishing back then. 'Cause there was like the NABC days. I loved it.
That was fun,
I wish
sir.
the NABC would stick around, or somebody would, create a trail like that, because it was a ton of fun.
We'll talk about that more. You have to write that down, Adam. We're going to talk about NABC. The day I told Kyle me and him had to go outside.
Where was that?
That was there.
I thought we just did it at the table.
No, we went outside. We sort of said hi. I don't want to tell anymore because
Okay.
I want to save it for
Let's
the next
save it.
one.
Don't tell anymore. I know the story, but don't.
I just
tell
got to
anymore.
put my mind.
Yeah,
in
Adam
that.
knows the story.
I got to
We
pick that out of
got
it.
to. We're at 2 hours and 40 minutes. We got to check out here.
This is a two-parter.
Let's
That's
quit
great.
there.
I love it. I love it. Two-parter.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Kyle and Kurt go off the
Next
rails.
time, Adam, we'll let you talk.
I'm sure you won't.
I kept.
I'll be
trying to
asking.
keep going,
I'll be
because
asking the questions.
I
I'll
like
be asking the questions. I'll let you two fight it out, and then we'll talk about a fight story later.
I like the quick fire thing.
Yeah.
Like, that pick 10 things, and
Yeah.
you got 10 minutes on each one, and when the time's up, you just stop us and move on to the next one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we need Kilgus here to run the mute buttons.
Yeah. Oh,
Or Marcus.
You
We'll
just
get Marcus
unplug
to
your
run.
mics.
we
Well-
could probably get a round table of guys and have some really good conversation.
Oh, for sure. We're gonna have to hit up your old employer though for that one.
Yeah, we got space.
Yeah. I don't have enough cameras.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's been really
We
good.
good?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
we're good.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Absolutely. We're out of here.
See
Peace.
ya.